Well, now, play has just started in the 1961 Grand Final between Hawthorn and Footscray. There was a missed kick on Footscray. Hawthorn now into attack through the agency of Brendan Edwards. He goes over, trundles the ball in front of him, but it looks as though a free kick will be given to Brendan Edwards on the wing position on the members' side of the ground. Kicks into attack. Schultz comes in for Footscray, cannot pick up. Here's a chance for Hawthorn to go further downfield, and a free kick has been paid to Hawthorn in the person, I believe, of Hill. Number 11, Hill of Hawthorn, on the half-forward flank to drive the Hawks into attack. There's Hill's kick. It's a punt kick going right down into the teeth of goal. Players set themselves. They fly high. Mark has been pulled down for Footscray by John Schultz. In the last line of defence, Schultz pulled that mark down. We might take this opportunity of introducing ourselves. Michael Williamson from Channel 7 introducing. Bert Deacon, former Carlton Brownlow medalist, Jeff Raymond and Reg Hickey. We will be your commentators throughout this historic grand final at the MCG. Hawthorn into attack once again, and the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. There's the throw-in. Players set themselves up. Goes Winicky, gets the knockdown. It's picked up by Law. Law racing into an open goal, and first score to the Hawks. Law, very quick, very nippy onto the ball, picked it up, and without opposition drove through to make Hawthorn 1 goal. Footscray no score, and the match has only been going for approximately 1 minute. Bert Deacon, your thoughts on the game?
Well, very interesting to note that only 3 Hawthorn players are in long sleeves, and only 1 Footscray player in the person of Jack Slattery is in long sleeves.
Right, there's the knockdown. Schultz got it, but it goes to Hawthorn. Edwards handballing out now to Fisher. Cannot pick up. The ball is knocked away from him. Footscray into attack through the agency of Ian, and right down into the forward zone. It was Hobbs who came out, was unable to pick up. Players tumbling over each other. Hobbs has it again, handballs to nobody in particular. Here's a chance now as the ball is picked up. Footscray has the opportunity to score. There are too many Hawthorn men there at the moment, and Hawthorn clears, but a free kick has been awarded. A free kick has been awarded to Footscray. Has he done so? No. Umpire Frank Swab, the umpire for this grand final, has called for the ball up. Thought he may have awarded a free kick there for a moment. There's the ball up. Players set themselves. The knockdown by Winicky goes into the arms of Beamish. Nobody able to clear. Eventually driven right into the teeth of goals and is forced through for 1 behind. 1 behind to Footscray at this juncture. Waiting for the Hawthorn fullback Les Killercane to take the kick-off. See which side of the ground he favours. He's favouring the member side. It's a drop kick, not a particularly good one. However, players have the opportunity. In comes for Footscray trying to pick that boy up there. He's got so many players around him, it's almost impossible. But Spargo has the opportunity. Way wide of his centre position. In comes Bryant. And the free kick has been given to Bobby Spargo, the Footscray centreman. Oh, he's miles out of position. He's between the forward pocket and half-forward flank on the grandstand side, in front of the smoker stand, actually. Here is Spargo's kick off the side of his boot and will go over the line just in front of the Graysmith stand.
Well, Mike, nobody's got any great ascendancy yet, but the first thing to note, of course, that there's no breeze at all. It's not favouring any end. It seems to be coming across the ground, but there's a goal for Footscray through the agency of, I think it was Quarrell, was it?
It was Quarrell, yes, Bird. Very quick on his feet, very nippy. Johnny Quarrell, a half-forward flanker. He was as quick as a flash then and popped it through while Bert was talking. Well, that puts Footscray in the lead. There's the bounce again. Up they go. Schultz gets the knockdown, but it's sharked very cleverly then by Brendan Edwards. Drives the Hawks right into attack. It's down forward. Peck comes out, misses the run of the ball. Here's a chance for Hawthorn, and kicked off the ground by Hill, and has gone through for 1 point. Oh, Edwards, very quick he was then to shark that hit out from Schultz. Driven right down. Peck couldn't grasp the ball, and there is the scoreboard. Even Stevens now in the first quarter of the grand final of 1961 between Footscray and Hawthorn. Players set themselves. Up they go. Schultz couldn't pull it down. Neither could Cooper. The ball is on the ground again. It's picked up now. Here is a chance for Edwards. But the ball has been marked down there by Charlie Evans, the reliable Evans. Evans' kick right up to the centre position. The mark has been taken there by Cooper. Cooper of Hawthorn. Just a little wide of the centre. His kick, it's a drop kick. It's a poor one. This gives the opportunity for Footscray to clear. But as in the start of all grand finals, players a little bit scrambly at the moment. A chance for Peck to mark. He was badly bustled there by Bernie Lee. And Lee gets his right foot to it, drives the ball out of danger, where it is marked down there by for Footscray, young Gillard. Well, there was a miraculous mark taken by Brendan Edwards. Threw himself at the ball, beat Spargo to it. Edwards drives Hawthorn into attacks. But there's Charlie Evans. He fumbles one of his very few fumbles in league football. Evans came in to grasp that ball, fumbled it, and eventually it was driven over the boundary line and out of bounds. Waiting for the throw in now. The ball is on Hawthorn's half-forward flank on the members' side of the ground. Most of the play has been over this side so far this quarter. Boundary umpire Hicks throwing in. Jostle for position there. Ware was in it for Footscray, but a free kick. It's going Footscray's way. I thought it may have been given against Bernie Lee, but umpire Swab said no, and Bernie Lee will take the free kick between the half back flank rather, and back pocket for Footscray. Drives it along the grandstand wing here. In nips Gardner, but is grabbed as he got hold of the ball. Spargo comes in. Cameron McDonald tries a kick off the ground. The players are going in there regardless. Spargo has the opportunity now, as pushed as he kicks. It goes out to Quarrell. Quarrell fumbled the ball as players came in on top of him, and it goes over the boundary line, out of bounds in front of the Graysmith stand. Footscray into attack once again. There's a throw in. They set themselves up. They go, and neither ruckman really got the hit down. It's in the hands now of McPherson. Back to Spargo there of Footscray. Spargo drives across, and if that Hawthorn player didn't get the free kick or the mark, he certainly got the free kick. Into attack now, Footscray through the agency of Schultz. No mark taken. The ball is on the ground. One Hawthorn player against three Footscray, but the Hawks coming in now, flying in to protect their teammate, and umpire Frank Swab must call for the bounce. The bounce in Footscray centre half forward position. Unattended, Winicky knocks the ball down. It's cleared for Hawthorn. Nobody able to get it. In comes Charlie Evans. Cleverly manoeuvres his opponent out of the way. Young Cunningham gets his boot to the ball, drives it up to the half forward flank. Here is a mark has been taken. Yes, it will be paid to Gardner, is it? No, not Gardner. Bryant. Bryant has the ball on the wing position for Footscray. It's a poor kick though. In comes Ian Law, unable to pick up, fumble that one. Quarrell has the opportunity now. He fumbles it too, over to Ware. Ware handballs to Hobbs. Hobbs drives into the teeth of goal, but Hawthorn unopposed there. Killer Kane takes the mark in defence. In the back pocket, Kane will drive out along the members' wing now. Another Hawthorn player unopposed, plays on now, handballs to Law. Down to where Morton Brown had the opportunity, wasn't quick enough. Into attack they go again. It looks like Graham Arthur, but he falls over. Play goes on. Ware has the opportunity, but kicks into Uren, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
I've noticed, Mike, that Spargo seems to be just a little on top in the centre. Edwards has had his share of kicks, but I think Spargo has been a very damaging player. And also noticing now that there's Whitten with the ball now, and he's just come onto the ball, and there doesn't seem to be any evidence of a bad leg by Ted Whitten.
Oh, there was a beautiful mark pulled down by Cam McPherson over the top of Quarrell. Quarrell seems to be just a little bit tentative in his play. Another tentative player was Schultz then, who dropped that sitter of a mark. However, it gives young Eon the opportunity to clear. He drives to the outer wing there, Players coming in from all directions. An opportunity there for Footscray to go further into attack through McCullough. The ball is way on the outer side of the ground. A free has been given to Hawthorn. There's the kick, driven down to the half-forward flank. Hawthorn still into attack now. Hoyles tried to get up high, couldn't do so. The ball is handballed across, and it looks Schultz very quickly onto the ball there. Took it and, round the neck. Quite an obvious one to Hawthorn. Looks like Brendan Edwards over there who has taken the free kick right down into the forward zone. Another mark spilt by Charlie Evans. Charlie's fumbling badly today. It seems the Footscray boys are quite tentative, as I said earlier. Hawthorn seem to be sure a bit.
Very unusual for Charlie Evans. That's two we've seen him spill, and it's not quite like Charlie, but I'm sure that he'll redeem himself during the day.
Right now we're waiting for the throw-in. There's the throw-in. Ware went very high for Footscray, got a backhanded hit out. The ball is on the ground. Ian has it, and he will take the free kick. Plays on very quickly into the centre of the ground. Spargo coming in. Here's another chance for McCullough to put Footscray further down. Players fly high for it, nobody able to pull it down, and Slattery fell over just when he had the opportunity. But in comes Quarrell, wasn't quick enough, has a second bite of the cherry and puts it through. That's his second, Johnny Quarrell's second. There's the score, Hawthorn 1-1, Footscray 2-1 in the 1961 Grand Final. Well, Footscray, although tentative, you could see then that Quarrell didn't go through clearly as a confident player would. Although he dropped the ball, he was very quickly onto it again, and with his left foot popped it through for Footscray's second goal. Or goal, rather. They probably like goal anyhow. To take up the description now, the commentary, former Geelong captain and coach Reg Hickey, and my old pal Jeff Raymond.
Thanks very much, Mike. Umpire Schwab bounces the ball in the centre of the ground. This time it's nobody's advantage from the hit out, but Hawthorn going into attack round the half-forward flank there through Fisher. However, Footscray fighting through Schultz. Schultz gets caught in possession, gets pushed and bolstered out of the way, and the ball comes back to the centre of the ground once again, where play on. No, umpire Schwab has his hand up. He's apparently blown the whistle. I couldn't hear him blow it, but it's a kick to Footscray, and it's going back here to Bryant. Bryant for Footscray has the kick near the centre of the ground. He kicks into the man on the mark, Collier Wren. Gives Hawthorn a chance to come through MacArthur. MacArthur, the centre half back, gets the ball down to the centre where Uren comes through again, follows it up with a left foot kick down to the full forward position. Oh, where Peck overruns the ball. Schultz has it. Look at him fall over there. Does a Catherine Wheel. The ball's perilously close to the boundary line. However, just before it can go out of bounds, Law picks it up, sends it into play again, and Footscray relieving here very well indeed through Bernie Lee. However, back they come through Brendan Edwards. Hawthorn not to be denied here. They're doing a lot of attacking at this stage. Charlie Evans, a little bit of fumbling again there. Don't want to nominate him all the time because it would have been very good work on Charlie's part to have got his hands to the ball. He was looking after Graham Arthur when the ball unexpectedly came into his direction. Now on the throw-in, just a few yards round from the behind post, there's an infringement in the ruck, and it's Hawthorn to take it through John Peck. John Peck coming out from goals. He seemed to be rucking there, Reg.
Could be, Jeff. Just coming on the ball just the right time there and in the right place for Hawthorn, really.
Well, here's a chance for him to make the scores level once again. His kick is not a good one. It's out of bounds. Floated right across the goals. He was probably allowing for a bit of wind that may have been helped him earlier, but there's certainly none at this moment, Reg.
Oh, no, it's a very dead calm as the ball thrown in right in the front of the goal, and no one gets the touch down here. But Hawthorn boy gets him picked up and attacked, and the Footscray centre half back Hoyles has come right through the centre and fired it up onto the wing.
Well, now on the wing it's all Footscray, but all coming through very solidly for Hawthorn is MacArthur. Right back, he's in centre half forward position now, having come through from centre half back. A lot of weight being thrown around there. Did you see a man go down just after the play had gone a little bit forward? There's another one. Oh, there's some nasty ones in there, some nasty blows indeed. Well, now, trainers are rushing onto the ground, but I think this boy Hobbs is all right. It's Mervyn Hobbs, the star Footscray rover that you see there, going back to take his kick. His kick is over the centre line. He's favouring his leg after he'd kicked the ball, and the trainer is now attending to him. Meanwhile, there's Teddy Whitten in there with Gardner from Footscray. Gardner getting his kick down towards the goals, but another infringement. Now, play is a little bit willing at this stage. saw Teddy trying to equalise things a minute ago.
Might have been a little bit costly, Jeff, when he equalised them, I think, if the free kick may have gone against him.
Yes, that may have been the occasion of the free kick. Well, I think at this stage, umpire Schwab very rightly is steadying the game down, as we see for Hawthorn Fisher, the wingman, who's playing about the half-back position when he kicked that ball. Down was a costly miss in the centre. Hobbs coming through, gets met again, goes down again, and over close to the boundary line and out of bounds goes the ball in the centre wing position on the outer side of the ground. On the throw-in, it's a lot of bullocking at the moment, not able to get clear. However, Footscray got clear here with a nice hand pass. Down onto their half-forward line comes the ball, only to see Hawthorn, strong in defence on that half-back line, get the ball out of bounds, although they're being very, very hard pressed on the half-back line. At the moment, I would say MacArthur, Reg has been doing the best of the three half-backs.
He's coming through very hard, Jeff, isn't he? He's meeting everything that comes in his way. And
well, here's a chance for Hawthorn as it's only about 30 yards out from their goal, and 1 point only. Well, that was Cunningham, the new boy for Hawthorn, trying to pick him up there, who had the shot for goal. He was on quite an angle. He put it through for 1 point only to make the scores on the board at this stage. Footscray 2-1, 13 points, leading Hawthorn 1-2, 8 points. Waiting for Bernie Lee, the Footscray fullback, to walk into the goal square to kick off. There he is. He's coming up now. Hasn't been kicking off too well. That's a low one, but it's getting quite a bit of distance. Goes up to where Schultz couldn't quite get up for the ball. Apparently not doing the damage so far this week that he did last week. Brendan Edwards has it for Hawthorn. Puts the ball right down. No, it doesn't go quite to the teeth of goal. Graham Arthur comes in. He's fumbling the ball. Gets it kicked away from him. There's a chance now for Gary Young, who wasn't able to pick up the ball either there. Coming out is Ware for Footscray. However, he knocks the ball in front of him to where Arthur picks it up, kicks for goal, and it goes through for another behind. 1 more point onto the score for Hawthorn. Well, they're doing a lot of attacking, Reg.
Yes, Jeff, they're not getting in those through the big six that they're wanting at this stage of the game, actually. Actually, the game's a little bit fumbly. I think both teams are a little bit anxious yet. Don't you think that way?
Ah, yes, there's not the certainty there that I'm sure we'll see in later quarters of the match. However, the pace has been on, and it's frequently hard to follow just how fast the ball is going down the field from the boots and the hand passing off Footscray. There's a hand pass there from Quarrell. Beautifully done. Quarrell is in everything so far for Footscray. Teddy Whitten gets the ball. He could have a shot for goal here. No, he's not. He's elected for a short pass. Footscray still have a chance here, but the ball goes off Kane and out of bounds just in front. I think that was Beamish down there. Hobbs, the Footscray rover. Kane doing good work, keeping the ball out in those hard pressing Footscray attacks. Now on the throw-in, looked to be one in the back there, to Hawthorn. Teddy Whitten, I think, old in the head, tried to pull one. Oh, down goes a head, and what's happening here? No, it's not the sort of thing to do. You don't get a free kick for doing that. Killer Kane with the ball there. Just taps it over the boundary line and out of bounds. It's around about the 30-yard mark from the behind post. And you can see the state of the weather by the sunshine and the silhouettes of the spires being thrown out there. Now, in the ruck, Whitten from behind can't do much with the ball there. However, it's gone across the line and out of bounds.
Jeff, Whitten, to me, seems just a wee bit proppy at the moment as a result of that leg last week.
Well, he's not getting in front as he usually does, is he?
No, definitely not, Jeff.
Watch him this time. No, he's not there. Now, here's Hawthorn with a chance to come into attack, but very good groundwork by their big ruckman. Schultz for Footscray puts them back again into attack off the boot of Beamish. Out of bounds. The Hawthorn backs are keeping the ball in that pocket there, member's side of the ground, just about 30 yards round. You can gauge the position by that shadow, the split in the shadow of light there. It's been roundabout there for the last 5 minutes or so. On the knockdown, it's Winnicky gets the tap down, but coming out with the ball for Footscray was Graham Ian, that is, not Barry Ian. Centre half forward. 2 Ians in the team, of course. Barry Ian on the half-back flank and Graham Ian at centre half forward. Well, once again, it's a throw-in, this time a bit closer, just a few yards away from the behind post. Winnicky goes high, gets the tap down, but there's an infringement as he does so, and which way is the kick going? Hawthorn's way. Well, no, it's not. It's going to Whitten. Teddy Whitten's coming back to take the kick. Well, he hasn't been doing much so far, but if he kicks this goal, he'll have a nice, handy little lead on the board for his team. Here's his kick. It's only very close in, and it's through, right through the centre for a goal. Well, that's one to Teddy Whitten from a free, right in front.
Jeff, maybe that's what he's foxing for when he's lying around the front of the pack in front there, you know. He's down the pack for quite a while in front of it, just waiting for one of those.
Well, I thought that he tried to do that just a moment ago, Reg,
and
that time it came off.
That's it. Old Fox, you know.
Well, what a handy one that is to put on the board. 2 from the boot of Quarrel and now 1 from the boot of Teddy Whitten, and the score's on the board 3-1, 19 points to 9 points Hawthorn. 19 points Footscray to 9 points Hawthorn. Now back in the centre of the ground again with Hawthorn desperately wanting to get back in the game, but Schultz stopping them there with a mighty knockout to where the ball comes out towards Gardner. Gardner turns well, plays on, down into the full forward zone. Whitten is there, and he's taken the mark. Well, there was nothing wrong with his leg that time, Reg.
Oh, no, Jeff, he came out the full lot then. Gave it the Herbs all the way, and he's only about 30 yards in front of goal. On an angle, I mean, but not too much of an angle, I don't think, for Teddy Whitten.
Well, it's about the same angle on the other side of the ground, I would say, to the last goal that he got. Here he comes. The kick is a good one. It's through, I would say, for another goal, yes. Well, there are the scores on the board with Footscray 4-1, 25 points, leading Hawthorn 1-3, 9 points, and here's a sudden burst by Footscray. 2 goals from Mr. Football himself, Ted Whitten, have given them a grip on this first quarter. Of course, you already know the result. But at the moment, Footscray, Reg, are seemingly... Oh, look at Schultz, another mighty knockout from the centre. He put his team into attack just a moment ago the same way, but now holding things up is a free kick here, being picked out of the pack, and it's going to Hawthorn through the person of Stead Hay. Hay's kick is to the centre-half forward position. Hoyle's going from behind, but the free kick will go to Gary Young. Hoyle's had one hand, I would say, on Gary Young's shoulder as he came in for the mark, and he went to punch the ball with the other hand. Right to the teeth of goal goes the kick by Gary Young, with Cunningham coming round the outside of the pack, but not able to get rid of the ball before he's over the line and out of bounds. More purpose down forward, Reg, Footscray?
I think so, yes, Jeff, very much. Oh, nearly a free there against Schultz. He pushed the Hawthorn boy out of the way, and it's over the line again, just in front. Jeff, I was going to remark then maybe that end is favouring Footscray. After all, they took the breeze, didn't they?
Well, Teddy Whitten won the toss. He elected to kick towards that end, so I suppose he did expect some advantage in this first quarter from whatever breeze there is. But it's not the breeze to any great extent here at the MCG. Well, the ball's being retrieved from the top of the race there by your friendly Victorian policeman. And here's the throw-in. Now it's at Hawthorn's end, just a few yards from the behind post. There's a great battle going on in the ruck there between Peck and Schultz. Looked to be a free kick twice, but it's going neither way, and here's a chance now for Footscray to clear the ball. However, back it comes to... Oh, after the play, Brendan Edwards got set down. Back it comes to the centre-half forward position for Hawthorn. Oh, tapped by Hawthorn, but there's no Hawthorn player there. It was nearly got away by Ware. He got a bit of surprise himself, and now Brendan Edwards comes in, has a shot, no, but hit as he got rid of the ball, and he's laying on the ground. He got hit very hard then, but meantime the ball has gone down, and it's a goal to Hawthorn.
Law.
Well, it was kicked by Ian Law. I was watching back at the blow received after the play there by Brendan Edwards. He was lying prone on the ground when that goal was kicked by Ian Law. Reg, makes it a bit more interesting.
That brings them right back into the play now, and if there's any bite on this game, I'm sure neither side are lacking it. They've all giving it and taking it. Here's Schultz in the centre now, and he's again got the hit out, but it didn't go successfully. Colin Uren got it and fired it down to centre-half forward, where it was caught by the Footscray half-back, but he's attacked, and there's a bit of a ball up. No, it's not. It's going to be a free kick to Ian Mort of Hawthorn, a dead centre-half forward.
Well, as Ian Law takes his kick, a left footer sends it right down to the teeth of goal, where Charlie Evans should mark, and does mark. Yes, it'll be paid back to Mike Williamson.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, Charlie, I said earlier, was slightly hesitant, fumbling a bit, but by golly, in the last 10 minutes, he's shown the surety that we expect from this great little back pocket player. Evans of Footscray pulled down a glorious mark there. Here's Charlie driving along the grandstand wing. Players set themselves for the mark. Bryant is in there. However, the ball comes on the ground, picked up by Beamish. He is grabbed by Uren. Eventually kicked further upfield by Footscray. Quarrel is in there. So too is Brendan Edwards for Hawthorn. but the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. There's the Hawthorn bugler into attack again. There's the knockdown from Cooper. It's on the ground, nobody able to pick up. Edwards has the chance here, but Mort Brown is in his way, and eventually the free kick goes to Edwards. He plays on without any hesitation down to Cunningham. Cunningham can't grasp it. Here's a chance for Footscray to clear, and a free kick has been given as Ian Mort has a few words to say to Gillard of Footscray. There's the kick going right down into the forward zone. Schultz, can he run fast enough? Yes, he does, and eventually clears with his left foot to the outer side of the ground. A chance here for Footscray to clear properly. They do so over to McKellar. McKellar is well down from his half-forward position, drives up towards the centre half-forward, but the ball is kicked off. No, it hasn't gone out. I thought it was going to go over the boundary line, but eventually it does. Waiting for the throw-in now on the outer side of the ground on Footscray's half-forward flank. There's Ware in there for Footscray. He gets the tap down. Nobody able to gain complete possession of the ball until Footscray does so now, right up to the centre half-forward position. Players fly, nobody able to pull down. Hobbs went high, but eventually it's MacArthur, or McPherson rather, who cleared that ball, only to see it marked there by Ware of Footscray on the wing position, between the wing and the half-forward flank there on the outer side of the ground. It's Ware coming in to take his kick, drives it towards the forward pocket. Hobbs sets himself for another one of his spectacular marks. This one doesn't come off. Eventually Footscray gained possession, but the ball over the boundary line and out once again on the half-forward flank.
Well, that was an attempt by Jack Slattery to swing it back into the game, but he couldn't do so. I've noticed, Mike, that as you suggested, Hobbs has been rising high in the forward pocket but hasn't been able to do any of his spectacular marks as he did last Saturday. But I'm sure as the game goes along, he'll keep attempting and he'll certainly get hold of one.
Thank you, Bert Deacon. Another throw in there on the outer side of the ground, still on Footscray's half-forward flank. Ware is in there. Ball is on the ground. It's picked up very smartly, driven into attack for Hawthorn to the wing position, but once again the boundary umpire has some work to do. It's on the wing position on the outer side of the ground. There's a throw-in. Players fly high, knocked down by Ware of Footscray. It's on the ground, and once more over the boundary line and out.
Interesting to note, Mike, that this boundary umpire that's throwing in now, if you haven't mentioned before, that's Herb Kent, that's umpiring his 300th game today on the boundary of league football.
Great runner in his day too, Herbie. There's a free kick going Footscray's way now. Looks like big Spargo, is it? Bobby Spargo, the centre man, has the ball wide of his centre position. There's his kick. Oh, lovely kick too. Right down. Players fly high, and the mark has been pulled down by E. Whitten. There seems to be a little dissension between Teddy Whitten and Kane. However, umpire Frank Swab rules your kick, Edward.
And there's no doubt about it, Mike. That was a mark by Whitten, without any doubt.
Well, Teddy's about 40 yards out from goal. Has the opportunity of putting Footscray further ahead. There's his kick, and it's 1 point only. Just, he got the distance all right, but slightly off the side of his boot, through for only 1 point. And now Les Kane will take the kick-off. Looks as though he may favour the member side of the ground. Here's his kick. Not a bad one, right out to the half-back flank. They set themselves up, they go. Nobody pulls down the mark, but Ian Law is in there for the Hawks. The ball is going towards the boundary line, but Law very cleverly hooks it back. It's hit out by Uren. In comes Brendan Edwards. He's in everything today. The ball is fumbled there. Players go down, no free kick given. Uren into it once again, drives down towards the reliable Charlie Evans. Way out, he's up on the centre line now, gets his kick, sends it towards the centre half-forward position, and a mark has been pulled down there in defence for Hawthorn by Stead Hay. Stead, the half-back flanker for the Hawks. He clears now, drives towards the centre position, up they go, nobody able to pull it down. Ian Mort missed that one, gets his left foot to it, it comes across to Law, Law is grabbed. The ball down on the Hawks centre half-forward position, over it goes to Mort Brown, he handballs across. Eventually it comes back to Ian Mort. Mort kicks into the man. They're doing great battle here. Mort Brown eventually gets his foot to the ball and sends it through for 1 point. Another point to Hawthorn. Like golly Bert, these Hawthorn players were not making excuses, but they are tremendously difficult to pick up, their numbers, I mean. They blend in with the Guernseys.
Yes, Mike, they certainly do. And another thing about them, too, they're playing this game very tough at the moment.
All right, there's the kick-off from Bernie Lee. Has been marked for Hawthorn by John Winicky there on the half-forward flank. Winicky coming in now to take his kick. It's a long punt kick. Gets plenty of height. And the free kick is going to Footscray against John Peck, being given to Bernie Lee. In the back pocket, he'll favour the outer side of the ground. He has no option. Nobody able to mark. It's dropped there by Footscray, by Teddy Whitten actually. Here's a chance now for Footscray to drive into attack. Up it comes to the half-forward flank. Out comes Cameron McDonald. He's not fast enough. He's lagging behind at the moment. Hawthorn able to clear with the hand pass. It goes to MacArthur, Johnny MacArthur. He clears down and the mark is taken there in defence for Footscray by John Hoyles, the centre half back. Hoyles at wide of the centre half back position now. Driving up along the grandstand side. Up they go. No mark. Spargo went up with Hill. The ball is on the ground. It's picked up by Beamish, who has his right hand bandaged, and the ball is over the line and out of bounds at the end of the first quarter in the 1961 grand final between Hawthorn and Footscray.
And he'll put his team well into attack. He does so. Over the centre half, down to the centre half forward position goes his kick. All Hawthorn, though. And from Ian Law, the ball comes down towards the centre of the ground, where there's another chance for Hawthorn to go into attack here. Coming through is Graham Arthur, Brendan Edwards. Brendan Edwards puts it right down to the teeth of goal, where it just eludes the pack, and in front of Bernie Lee for Footscray, who's holding out his hands now and getting the ball. It goes through for one behind. That's Lee, the full-back, for Footscray. Scores on the board: Footscray 4-2, 26 points, Hawthorn 2-5, 17 points, just a few minutes into the second quarter. Lee's kick is not a good one once again from full-back, and it's marked, I think, by Hawthorn here. Hawthorn half-forward flanker could have marked Brown. Yes, Brown has it. Or is it the ruckman, Winicky? Looks too big for Brown, it'll be too tall. It'll be Winicky, who's put the ball right into the teeth of goal, flying from behind. Where can't mark it for Footscray? It's on the ground. There's a kick off the ground. Stacks on the mill. And Schwab is there, telling them in his cool, calm, efficient fashion, please, gentlemen, get away from the ball. Another mighty hit out by Schultz. This time it goes over the boundary line, out of bounds, to relieve the pressure of that Hawthorn attack. Hawthorn attacking strongly, Reg.
Oh, very hard. But Schultz has got this ruck on his own at the moment, Jeff. He's not placing the ball as well as he did last week, but he's certainly getting a lot of tap downs from it.
Yes, well, it's noticeable on the centre bounce that Brendan Edwards has been stealing quite a few of the knocks.
Good anticipation there on Brendan's part.
Well, watch Schultz this time go up with John Peck, who's now in the ruck there. John Peck's come out. However, it's Footscray who'll get away through the agency there of Beamish. Ball goes on the half-back line for Footscray, with Hawthorn still in possession and still struggling through with the ball. And finally, it's Ian Law, who spins out of the pack with the ball, sends it right down to the teeth of goal, where it's all Footscray, and Bernie Lee, coming out, has no trouble at all to take a very, very easy mark. Hawthorn forwards. Of course, John Peck is on the ball, presumably, at the moment. He was contesting the last hit out with, very nice mark from behind by Hill. Hill, the Hawthorn ruckman. His kick is once again right down to the teeth of goal. That's all they seem to be doing. They're banging away at the teeth of goal with no one there to take the marks. Peck did go up for that one. Couldn't take it. Here's a chance for their captain, Graham Arthur. Dodges, but the ball with him goes over the line and out of bounds. Still in Hawthorn's territory, still in their attacking zone. Schultz and Peck. Schultz once again the knockout, but look, it was again ill-directed. Hawthorn across to centre half forward, and I think it could be Gary Young, who was playing right at centre half forward then, yes, as he gets up from the ground.
It is, Jeff, and by Jeff, this fellow can absorb. He should have been a boxer. He can absorb punting from this boy, I tell you.
Well, he absorbed one then, right in the back, just after he'd marked the ball. He's right in front and should put his team one goal closer. He hasn't done so. Well, he might have been a little bit groggy after the knock that he took then.
Could have been, Jeff, could have been. A long way out, I think, for Youngie to kick the ball.
Yes, but he was right in front, and ideal conditions. Well, here's the throw in. It was out of bounds. Here's this battle again between Peck and Schultz. This time Footscray have got it to Hoyles. Hoyles has a chance to clear. Oh, he hung onto the ball for a long time there. Allowed Hawthorn to get back into the play. Once again, a kick off the ground. Here's a chance for Hawthorn coming through. Hand passing to Peck. Peck can't pick up the ball. Fumbles in front. And off a Footscray boot, it slides across the boundary line just behind.
Jeff, I think what Peck's doing while it's close up to goal, he is going to contest. He's not on the ruck, but he goes into the ruck when it's up in front of goal. I think that's what's happening.
Yes, could be, because he's dropping back, isn't he, into the goals again, Reg, yes. Well, there's Beamish. See if Beamish can get the ball away from this incessant Hawthorn attack. I think he's done so. He's got it round to Bryant. Yes, that's number 37, Bryant. Has the ball for Footscray to put them further out of danger. Gets it to the centre of the ground. Hawthorn flying high but unable to hold the ball. Hill comes out after the ball for Hawthorn. Gets a kick off the ground, sends it further into his own territory. It looks like Hoyles passing the ball back because once again it's gone out of bounds. Still in Hawthorn attacking zone on the outer side of the ground. Once again Schultz getting the knockdown, this time finding Cameron MacDonald. Eventually gets his kick in. Outer side of the ground, almost centre wing position, and over the line and out of bounds. Well, a bit scrambly at the moment, Reg, and a lot of indiscriminate and hurried kicking.
And I think another thing that's lacking on a day like this, I think kicking on part of 2 or 3 players of both sides is very, very poor. It should be an ideal day for kicking, and they're scrumming them a fair bit to me.
Yes, well, it's noticeable even that Bernie Lee, who I gather is a pretty good kick-off at full-back, has not been kicking off exceptionally well in this match.
Not.
Well, now, here's Footscray into attack, but being held out there momentarily anyway by Poole. Poole gets the ball back to the centre again, where it's overrun here. There's a great battle, and eventually Ian Law, it is, who gets his kick in. For Fisher. Chance for Hawthorn. Oh, coming through very, very hard for Footscray was Barry Eon, and what's going to happen? Well, this umpire Schwab in charge of the game, and he's going to give Hoyles, I think, a free kick. That looks like Hoyles going back. Hoyles, the tall man on the right-hand side of the screen. The ball is certainly coming back to him. Umpire Schwab seems satisfied that he's the one who should have it. And it's Hoyles, the centre-half back. Played a very, very good game so far for Footscray. Takes his kick, seemed to be favouring his right leg as he kicked the ball then. Hawthorn still not holding their marks, but Fisher comes in with the ball. A hand pass out to the centre, where Cunningham, high punt kick down to the centre-half forward position. Gary Young's in front. Gary Young takes the ball, has a shot for goal, and he's put it through for 1 point only. Well, Hawthorn still need goals here. They're pounding away at the scoring end, but Reg, they can't get it through.
No, Jeff, they're missing a few sitters on there. Actually, that last one was a pretty hurried shot. However, here's Bernie Lee's kick out to the member side to Schultz and to Hill, and Schultz did not drag it, but it's gone down to the rover. Cunningham, it's pulled before he gets a shot, and it's out in front of the Footscray. Over the Law coming in, picking up and looking for someone to go past for a handball. There's no one. He eventually gives it to Hill, who fumbles it, and it's cleared by the rover Footscray, but he's tackled to Brendan Edwards, and he left foots up in front of goal again.
Well, Hawthorn are very determined here, but there's a beautiful mark pulled down by Bob Ware. Could not call him Norman Ware, Reg, at this stage.
Oh, he wouldn't mind, Jeff.
Bob Ware, and his kick is favouring this time the member stand. We'll see some play over this side. It's a chance for Fisher again to put his team into attack. Turns onto his left foot, sends it down to the centre-half forward position. Graham Arthur is there. He can't pick up the ball. It's picked up by Mort. Well, there'll have to be a decision here, and I think it'll have to go to Footscray. Yes, Barry Ian it'll be to take the kick for Footscray. There he is, going back to pick up the ball. And once again, he'll relieve the pressure of another strong Hawthorn attack. Fisher's giving him a little bit of drive now from the wing, Reg.
Yes, he's very towy boy, this. He's got a pretty towy fella on him, too, with Gardner, but he hasn't hit his straps just yet, Jeff.
Well, now it's Hill and Schultz who fly for the ball. Neither of them big men can mark it. Law trying to come through, couldn't get it. Brendan Edwards does so, but his kick is astray. It'll go out of bounds in front of Ian Mort. Mort, both the half-forward flankers have been reasonably quiet for Hawthorn.
Yes, yes, they have been quite a lot of known players. Here's Gardner coming in now. He's met solidly by Edwards.
Gardner was met very solidly and went down to the turf, and he's still there. Trainers are running out. Ball is out of bounds. It's a fair bump.
Oh, quite fair. Both went for each other, and that was it. He's a strong boy, Edward, you know, Jeff, really strong.
Yes, a physical fitness man, and there we have a shot of the boy who just copped it, Gardner. So he's coming through. Here's Footscray getting away now. The chance for little Hobbs, their rover, to put the ball right to centre half forward position. He does so, but Footscray men fly for it, can't pick it up. And it's once again left to MacArthur, the centre half back, to clear for Hawthorn. Does so only to find it's back in the centre man's possession. Bob Spargo for Footscray, who puts the ball out of bounds on the half forward flank, with Footscray into attack for the first time in quite a while now. Hawthorn have had most of the play, but Footscray have got it down to their half-forward line again, and here's the throw-in. Whitten in the ruck now for Footscray. Nice knockdown. Here's a chance for Gardner. Gardner still playing the ball in front of him. He recovered very quickly there, and it was Hobbs he got it to. Hobbs kicks it further downfield where there's a clash, and Killicane will pick up the ball just inside the boundary line. No, he elects to kick it off the ground practically. A chance there for Stead Hay to pick up. He can't do so. But eventually it's MacArthur who clears for Hawthorn. Played a wonderful game at centre-half back as John MacArthur. Hawthorn will go into attack here through Graham Arthur, who has the ball on their half-forward flank. Graham Arthur, the Hawthorn skipper, doesn't waste any time, picks the ball up, drop kicks it right down to the teeth of goal. Schultz is there for Footscray, goes up unopposed. No mark, play on. And now there is a decision, ball up, I would think. Yes, umpire Schwab calls for the ball, and it's balled up in the Hawthorn scoring territory as Ware for Footscray. The Footscray ruckman picks it up, sends it out, where Fisher contests a mark with Whitten, but Whitten, more experience and stronger, takes the mark. Now here's a chance for Footscray to go into attack through Graham Ian. Graham Ian with the ball, number 17, sends it right down to the teeth of goal, and here's another chance. Oh, a sitter dropped there by Cameron MacDonald for Footscray. And well, I think he meant to throw the player over, but he threw the ball over instead.
Well, Jeff, there's no room for anyone to fool around here. You've no sooner got the ball on your tackle by both sides. They're both going really hard.
They're going at it hard, and they're going at it fast. A bit fast for me. I think I'll take a spell. Mike Williamson.
Right, Jeff. The ball is over the boundary line and out once again. Hobbs, hello, the free kick is going to Law of Hawthorn. Law is on the half-back flank for the Hawks. Driving along the grandstand wing here. Players set themselves, and Whitten went a tremendous height, failed to hold it, over to Schultz. Schultz, a big handball, but it goes into the hands of the Hawthorn defender. And now Footscray, or Hawthorn rather, into attack. Footscray defending hotly. Here's a chance for Ian Mort. He drives right up. And the mark has been taken there. A very easy one. A sitter has been taken by John Peck. Well, Bernie Lee couldn't get up high enough, and it was a sitter for John Peck. Well, a lucky break for the Hawks, but still they've kept pounding away. And if you keep that up, Bert, luck eventually must favour you. Yes, waiting for Peck to take his kick now. He couldn't miss this, could he? Oh, no, he has. Every time. I would be the worst tipster ever. But he was only about, 5 yards out from goal?
Oh, about 10 yards out, Mike, but right off the side of his boot. A shocking performance by John Peck. And I might say that earlier on, too, when Gary Young had his chance, he ran too far up into the man on the mark, and he failed to score as well. So that's bad luck for Hawthorn.
Oh, what a sensation. What a sensation. Apparently the Hawks are a little tougher than we imagined. Missing one like that from an experienced footballer like Johnny Peck. However, there's the kick out, and the free must go to Footscray. Will go to Teddy Whitten. He got a helping hip out of the pack then. His kick, it's a very poor one. It gives Brendan Edwards a chance to come through. Edwards is met by 3 Footscray players. He eludes the 3 of them and sends Hawthorn right into attack. The ball is dropped there. In comes Johnny Schultz, trundles it on in front of him. Hooks it back. The ball is not out of bounds yet. Schultz is still there, playing magnificently. Eventually gets his punch, but it's picked up by Fisher. Fisher drives it up to the forward pocket. Oh, Footscray defenders are hotly pressed here to clear, but eventually they do. Eventually they do through Barry Ian. He drives it right down to the centre position, nobody able to mark. Footscray into attack now, but it looks like Hawthorn clearing here. Johnny MacArthur pushes it on in front of him. And Brendan Edwards, playing brilliantly, sends Hawthorn further into attack. Here's a chance now. Ian Waters in there. He grabs Schultz. Schultz handballs. It's picked up by Law. Law puts his left foot into it. Sends it right up to the teeth of goal. Bernie Lee fumbles that one. And it looked like Cunningham, who came in there, tried to screw it around, but he had too much pace up, and 1 point only is the result. There is the scoreboard. In the second quarter of the 1961 Grand Final, Hawthorn 2-8, Footscray 4-2. Well, they're holding Hawthorn this quarter, Bert.
Yes, they are, and it's bad luck for Hawthorn that they're getting points instead of goals, Mike. And another interesting thing about Hawthorn is that Brendan Edwards is right on top in the centre now and playing real well.
That's when he's in the centre. He's covering a dickens of a lot of ground.
Well, so is his opponent, and it's even Stevens there, but I think that Edwards has certainly got on top in this quarter.
Right now, waiting for the throw-in now. It's on Hawthorn's half-forward flank. There's a knockdown by Bobby Ware. In came young Bryant, McKellar to pick up, but the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. Up they go again. A lovely knockout then from Cooper. The ball is driven down on the half-forward flank for Footscray, and it's out of bounds. Waiting for Herbie Kent to throw in now. Everybody flies, looks if Cooper got the knockdown, but Teddy Whitten gained possession over to Hobbs. Hobbs has grabbed the balls on the ground. Players coming in very strongly. It's MacArthur who has the chance now. Gets his left foot to it, sends it up to the wing position. Ware flies high, unable to mark. In comes McKellar. He is caught in possession. The ball is driven up to the centre half forward position for Hawthorn. In comes Cunningham, gets his foot to the ball, sends it up to where Schultz takes a mark that goes high over his opponent. John Schultz clearing now up to the centre of the ground. Up they go. The mark is pulled down brilliantly by Spargo. Not paid, however. Play on calls Frank Swab. Bryant kicks it high in the air. It's onto Footscray's half-forward flank. They have the opportunity now here. Young Graham Eon is in there for Footscray. So too is Hill for Hawthorn. Players are going in regardless of life or limb. Eventually it's cleared up to the centre of the ground. Cunningham coming in there for Footscray has met solidly. Eventually it's picked up by Brendan Edwards. Edwards turns, puts his foot behind the ball. Charlie Evans has the chance here. Too many big men around him though. It's on the ground. In they come. Pick up by Footscray. Driven towards the outer side of the ground. And eventually it's Charlie who gets his boot to it and sends it right down. Gets a big hand from the crowd here. Footscray has the opportunity. They're into attack right to the forward pocket, but the ball is over the boundary line and out of bounds from the boot of Graham Ian.
Mike, it's very noticeable when Schultz is off the ball that Hawthorn are doing a little bit better in the ruck, and also when Schultz is spelling, he's doing a great share of the work down in the back pocket.
Well, it looks as though Hawthorn have more capable ruckmen than Footscray at the moment, although we must say Ware is doing a great job for the Bulldogs in there. Here's a chance now. The ball comes out. It's dropped there on the wing by, looked like Bryant. Driven into the centre half forward position. Oh, here's a chance. They're going in. Very hard to pick a player up here, but it's Hobbs who has it. Puts his left boot into it. Where the ball is marked in defence for the Hawks by Hill. There's his kick. Right out to the half-back flank, off the hands of the pack. Nobody able to gain possession. Cameron McDonald pulls his opponent down there, but the indefatigable Brendan Edwards sends the Hawks into attack up to the centre half-forward position over the heads of the pack. Evans is in there doing battle. Cunningham picks up, however, turns, puts his left boot into the ball, right into the teeth of goal. They set themselves. It's knocked down to the ground. A chance for Hoyles to clear here. He punches clear, but Hawthorn into attack once again, and the kick will go to Gary Young, it looks like. Gary Young, he's on the half-forward flank. He jumped a bit then, Bert. I think that might have hurt him. Has a chance to kick a goal from here. He'd be about 40, 45 yards out on a slight angle. There's his kick. He got the distance. Direction was off. 1 point only is the result.
Well, once again, we see he's limping very badly too, Gary Young. I think he got one in either the hip or the ankle then. But I will say this about Gary Young. He's running up too close to his man when he's shooting for goal. He was only about, well, 35, 40 yards out, and there was no need for him to run right up close to the man like that. They badly need a goal, Hawthorn.
Here's the Footscray fullback, Bernie Lee, kicking off out to the member side of the ground. Nobody able to mark. It's on the ground. Eventually, Winicky gets his left boot to it. Here's a chance for Hawthorn to score. It's Mort Brown who kicks off the side of his boot, and the ball goes out of bounds just in front of the Gray Smith stand in Hawthorn's forward pocket. There's a throw-in. Ware goes up for Footscray, knocks it down. It's picked up by Hawthorn. Ware into it again. Has the opportunity. Law knocks the ball down. It's a chance for Cunningham. He handballs to Brendan Edwards. Brendan Edwards handballs across to Gary Young, it looks like. Stacks on the mill now, and the free kick is going Footscray's way. Well, he's bringing Johnny Hoyles back. Umpire Frank Swab is bringing Hoyles back. He's on the half-back flank almost, on the outer side of the ground. A torrid time for the Footscray defenders. They're withstanding the pressure quite well up till now. His kick, ill-directed, and a very easy mark has been taken by Graham Arthur. Arthur puts the Hawks into attack. It's going towards the forward pocket, but there is Barry Ian of Footscray on his own. He's able to drive out of danger. The mark missed by Stedhay there. And picked up by Bobby Spargo. Driven to the half-forward flank. Slattery is a mile out of position. However, he tries a bounce. It doesn't come off, but luck favours him. He's still into it. However, Quarrell comes in there, was unable to gain any clearance whatsoever, and puts the ball over the boundary line and out in the forward pocket for Footscray. Here's a chance. Winicky gets the knockdown. Beamish is in there, nobody able to gain clear possession, and the free kick is going to Footscray. Looks like Barney McCullough. McCullough has it. He'd be about 40, 45 yards out of goal. He's on an angle. Need to be a good kick to score from here. McCullough coming in to take his kick. It's not a bad kick, slightly off the target. And here a player stacks on the mill, and the kick must go to Hawthorn. Kick going to Hawthorn. Looks like young Cunningham down there is going to take the free kick. Cunningham in the back pocket on the outer side of the ground for Hawthorn. His kick is a punt kick, travelling to the half-back flank. And in comes Brendan Edwards, takes the mark. Did Swab call play on or not? You can see the players aren't too sure. There is Spargo arguing with Frank Swab, but Brendan Edwards will take the kick. There's his kick. Along the outer wing there, where the mark has been taken in defence for Footscray by Gillard. Gillard driving Footscray into attack to the centre half forward position. Nobody able to mark. A great try by Footscray there. The ball comes out once again to Brendan Edwards. He's had a million kicks so far. Oh, there is a glorious mark. Is he going to pay it? No, he doesn't. Just not held long enough by Johnny Hoyles. Footscray back into attack, however, on their half-forward flank. Slattery a mile out from goal once again. There Ware tries a flick pass. Slattery gets his boot to the ball, but it's marked in the last line of defence for Hawthorn by Poole. Poole clears now, drives out towards the half-back flank. The mark is pulled down there by Hawthorn. Up to the wing position. A lovely mark has been taken there by Spargo. Spargo wastes no time. He forces the ball down into the scoring zone. But however, it's Poole once again who chips in, puts his left foot to it, drives to the half-back flank. Nobody able to pull down the mark. They're into it now. Cam McPherson is in there for Hawthorn. So too is Uren. Let's wait. It's over the boundary line and out.
Did notice there, Mike, that there was a very near bad collision there between two Hawthorn players in Cooper and Kane. Both went for the ball and collided.
Well, Stacks on the mill now on the Half-forward flank for Footscray on the outer side of the ground. The ball comes out of the pack. Slattery had the chance to mark, but looks like Stead Hay who chipped in there and saved the day for the Hawks. Hay driving Hawthorn out of danger up to the centre of the ground. Their players are trying to gain possession, and I think the free kick must go Footscray's way. Looks like Hoyles will take the free kick as Jeff Raymond and Reg Hickey take up the commentary.
Yes, well, Hoyles is in his own position, centre-half back for Footscray as he goes and picks up the ball. And from this position, he could well and truly put Footscray into attack. Now, neither side has scored a goal this quarter so far.
That's most remarkable, Jeff, isn't it?
It is, Reg. Oh, look at this. Whitten allowed to go up unopposed. Marks the kick. He's about the centre-half forward position. For Footscray as he comes in. He won't get the distance from here, but he should put it right down in the goal square. It's a beautiful punt kick. It's travelling just into the goal square. It drops. No one can mark the ball. And what has happened? A free kick has been pulled out of it, and it could go to McKellar here. He's going back to take his kick. Barney McKellar, he had a shot from here just a moment ago for Footscray. See what he does with it this time. Right foot, and it's through the middle. It's a goal, yes. Well, we said there hadn't been a goal scored this quarter, Reg, and as soon as we said that, along comes McKellar, and with his true right boot, puts it right through the centre, and there's a goal on the board for Footscray.
And that makes it a little more difficult for the Hawthorn, Jeff, because they've had plenty of opportunities and haven't converted at all. 2-9 to 5-2.
Yes,
not
well, there's
good,
11 shots to 7 shots. Footscray have been a little more purposeful, though, when they've had it up forward.
So,
they
yes.
haven't had it up forward as much as Hawthorn. Well, there's a nice knockout by Schultz, but the Footscray Rovers are not shining today. Chance for Hawthorn to clear here through Poole. Poole, who's come into play in the last 5 minutes or so. Killer Kane on top of somebody there. Let's see who gets up from underneath that pack. Graham E on the centre half forward it is. The ball is bounced on the half forward line for Footscray. Oh. Going through very solidly is Spargo. Spargo is stripped and will take the free kick. Spargo of Footscray. Now, the centre man, well out of position, is not within kicking distance, I don't think. But he, once again, will get it right down in the square. A punt kick will put it just to the front of the square, punched away by the defence. And here's another chance for Footscray, and through Slattery, their full forward, they've scored another behind.
Slattery had a great chance then, Jeff. He just had time, I think, to steady himself a little bit more, and it'd be just hooked it just too much.
Yeah, well, that would be, I presume, grand final jitters,
yes,
wouldn't it,
definitely.
Reg? In a normal game, yes, he would have steadied himself then. He banged away at those sticks, and the result is another behind on the point of Footscray, who now, in this quarter, are back in the game, attacking all the time, after a fairly quiet first half of the quarter. Well, right in the back, I would say, from up here, and it's a free kick to Hawthorn. MacArthur taking the free kick, sending the ball to the centre of the ground. Bit scrambly around the centre there, and eventually it's Law, who comes out with it for Hawthorn. Out of the half-forward flank, a chance for Brendan Edwards now. He's not being shepherded, though, to go through. He likes to do a hand pass. There's a free kick, but play on, says the umpire, as Edwards has a shot, and with a glorious drop kick, puts it right through the centre for another goal to Hawthorn. A beautiful bit of play by Edwards then to score another major for Hawthorn.
Well, Jeff, I think that's the nicest thing in the game, actually. The scoreboard now is Hawthorn 3-9 to Footscray 5-3.
Well, it's very fitting, Reg, that it came from the boot of Brendan Edwards, who's been Hawthorn's best man in my book so far in the game, and who then played glorious football and capped it with a beautiful drop kick that sailed true and straight through the centre. However, here's Footscray back into the game again, into attack now, and spilt mark right in front of goals there with Teddy Whitten himself. Is it trying to turn out of trouble? Does so. Hand pass across to Hobbs. Hobbs has a shot for goal, and it's through. No, it's marked right in the goal line, and it goes through and is touched on the way through by Poole. Poole it was, saved Hawthorn then. I thought it was going through, but Poole got up in the last line of defence, almost on the white line, touched the ball as it went across. So we see Kane kicking off for Hawthorn. Oh, it's a beautiful kick from Kane to open the centre forward position, but Schultz goes up unopposed. No marks as the umpire. Another shot by Footscray, and 1 point on the board off Hobbs's boot. Well, I said Footscray Rovers have been a bit quiet, but Hobbs is coming into the game now. He hasn't been sighted very much around the ground. Schultz has been winning the hit out, but it's been sharked mostly by the Hawthorn players. Well, here's a chance for Hawthorn to break well and truly clear through Collier Wren. Uren on the outer side of the ground with a punt kick sends the ball down to his own half-forward position. But from Gillard's boot, it'll go back again to centre half-forward, where Spargo allows the ball to go through his fingers down to Witten. Witten, a quick flick pass backwards, finds a teammate in Hobbs. Hobbs is coming through with a shot down towards the sticks. It'll be a mark to Footscray. No, couldn't hold it right in front, and Hawthorn once again have got the ball away through MacArthur. Well, Beamish is down on the ground, and I didn't hear the siren go there, but the siren has gone. Mike, you heard it, did you?
Yes, the siren has gone, so did the players, Jeff. They're leaving the field. That ends the second quarter in the 1961 Grand Final. There are the scores: Hawthorn 3-9-27, Footscray 5-5, 35. And we'll be back with you with the third quarter of the 1961 Grand Final in just a few moments. There's the score as umpire Frank Swab moves in to bounce the ball for the start of the third quarter of the 1961 Grand Final between Footscray and Hawthorn. The ball's into attack for Footscray. It's cleared out there wide on the half-back flank by Stead Hay, and it's driven over the boundary line and out of bounds on the wing position. Bert Deacon.
Very interesting to note that Beamish is off the ground for Footscray. He's been replaced by Charlie Stewart from Shepparton, who gets his big chance this afternoon on the half-forward flank. Quarrell goes into the roving position in the forward pocket.
Right now, Footscray back into attack. The ball is out of bounds on the half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground. Bad luck for young Beamish to be injured in the last few seconds of the second quarter. There is the knockdown by Winicky of Hawthorn. It's on the ground. Player stacks on the mill. Nobody able to gain possession. There seems to be a little quarrel over it there between the Hawthorn and Footscray player. However, the free kick has been given to Brendan Edwards. He drives the Hawks well into attack. Down it goes, and the mark has been taken there in the centre half-forward position by John Winicky. Winicky drives, right foot kick, right down into the forward pocket. A chance for Graham Arthur to mark, and he does so. Graham, the Hawk skipper, coming in to take his kick right down into the teeth of goal. They set themselves up, they go, and the mark has been pulled down for Hawthorn by Hill. Hill has pulled it down. He is on an angle, as you can see there, only a few feet out from. Coming in to take his kick, tries to run around, he kicks, and yes, in the first few seconds of the third quarter, Hawthorn have booted a goal. They needed that one. Hawthorn 4-9 now, Footscray 5-5. Well, very quick to get away in the third quarter. The ball back in the centre. Umpire Frank Swab has possession. There's the bounce of the ball. Doesn't give Schultz the opportunity to do anything. Hawthorn into attack again down to their half-forward flank. Young Eon comes in, tries to push the ball on in front of him. It's punched away by Bernie Lee. Up to the wing position. Picked up now and driven right into attack. A chance for Peck to mark. No, it's dropped. Or rather, Hill to mark. It's dropped. Stacks on the mill now, and the free kick has been given to Hawthorn. It's Gary Young who has the free kick.
Mike, interesting to note again that Hill has been placed at full forward, and Peck has gone into the ruck along with Graham Arthur.
Well, Young thought it was his free, but it has been given to the young rover, Cunningham. Cunningham comes in to take his kick, and it's another one. What a fiery opening by the Hawks. There's the scoreboard. 5-9, 5-5, and Hawthorn has taken the lead. They've been struggling since the beginning of the match to get in front. Now they've managed it. Let's see if they can maintain it. There's the bounce. Schultz is swamped. However, it's McDonald who gets the ball. He can't kick it clear. Too many Hawks around him. It's on the ground, and the free kick is going Hawthorn's way. There's Cameron McDonald in the middle of an arguing group there. However, the ball's into attack once again for Hawthorn. Unable to mark as Bernie Lee. It's on the ground. Footscray now has the chance to clear. Holding the man must be given to Mervyn Hobbs in the back pocket. Hobbs, the Footscray rover, is in the back pocket now. defending along the grandstand wing or the members' wing. Up they go, nobody able to pull down. Morton Brown is in there for Hawthorn, but it's ruled over the line. There's a throw-in. Set themselves. Schultz once again is swamped. Too many Hawks around him. Eventually, Footscray clears right into the arms of Laurie, puts his left boot to it, drives down towards the forward pocket. Once again, it's out of bounds. In Hawthorn's forward pocket. Well, they've opened with a mighty burst, the Hawks. Schultz is into it once again. Hill in there with him. Law has the opportunity to pick up, can't do so. Footscray trying hard. In comes Johnny Hoyles, meeting solidly. There is Peck, is grabbed while not in possession and will take the free kick. John Peck is on the half-forward flank on the member side of the ground. Long way out from goal, but he'll put it right down into the scoring zone. Johnny Peck. His kick, it's a beauty. It's lobbed right in the teeth of goals. Up they go. Nobody able to pull it down. Cunningham comes in. Can't pick it up. Stacks on the mill. Players everywhere. Eventually, Schultz of Footscray gets his boot to it and puts it through for 1 point for Hawthorn. He tried to drive round, but just couldn't turn quickly enough or far enough and scored a point for Hawthorn. Ernie Lee now about to take the kick out for the Bulldogs. Favouring the member side, or virtually up the centre, and the mark has been pulled down here by Gary Young. Well, it's all Hawthorn so far in the third quarter. Gary Young is about 50 yards out from goal. His kick, it's a beauty. It's a ripper, this kick. Up they go. It's almost marked right in the teeth of goals there. But eventually it's Law trying to get his foot to it. Can't do so. He's tackled by players right, left and centre. And eventually it's kicked. Snapped up very quickly. And kicked by Graham Arthur. A captain's effort from the skipper of the Hawks.
I think John Kennedy's instructions at half-time to the Hawthorn boys must have been, we've got to stop Schultz, and that's just exactly what they're doing. They've swung John Peck into the ruck, as I suggested before, and that's had the desired effect on Schultz.
Well, true, Bert, every time Schultz goes for a hit out, he is completely swamped by Hawthorn players. There he goes again, 2 players against Johnny Schultz. However, it's Footscray into attack now. Teddy Whitten trying to do his best and receives the free kick. He tried hard to break clear then, eventually got the free kick. Drives up towards the centre half forward position. Slattery comes out, unable to hold it. The ball is on the ground. In they come. Cleared. Schultz is in there for Footscray. Can't bend down quickly enough. Kicked out to Charlie Stewart. He swings around. His left foot drives out towards the forward pocket. Slattery's up there for Footscray and pulls down a magnificent mark. Well, it's a long way out from goals. Good 50 yards out. But Footscray badly need this goal to settle themselves down. They've been jumped right at the start of the third quarter. His kick, it's right up into the forward pocket. Nobody able to pull it down. Hawthorn has the opportunity to clear here. Poole's in there for them. Eventually, Stacks on the mill once again over the boundary line and out. Herbie Kent about to throw in now. There's his throw. Whitten's in the ruck for Footscray, but it's Winicky who gets the knockdown. Footscray through. McCullough has the opportunity. Spargo's there. He's grabbed by about half a dozen Hawthorn players. Eventually, it's MacArthur who gets his boot to it, drives it down towards the wing position. It's picked up there, but the free kick has been given to Hawthorn, and the crowd doesn't seem to agree with that one at all. On the outer side of the ground, the ball about to be cleared by Brendan Edwards. He's almost in the back pocket. Gives you some idea of the territory this fellow's covering today. Up they go, and the mark has been pulled down again by Mort Brown. He drives Hawthorn right into attack. Oh, the mark is missed there. Mort comes in, has grabbed. No free kick given. However, it's Schultz now who comes in, picks the ball up from the bounce, drives out towards the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. Gardner comes in, chips in, gets his boot to it, sends it towards the centre. It's all Hawthorn there in the centre. Too many of them, though. They spoil each other. Eventually, McCullough gets his boot to it, sends it over towards Charlie Stewart. Hawthorn into it again. Tim Cunningham gets his boot to it, is grabbed, and free kick for holding the ball, apparently, against Cunningham, and Charlie Stewart will take it.
Thought it was a little bit high, Mike, then, but still, nevertheless, to Footscray's advantage.
There's the kick to the forward pocket, and Mr. Football comes in, makes position well, unattended, takes the mark. Teddy Whitten looking for Slattery now, too high for Slattery. Slattery gets up, it's knocked away by Killer Kane and goes over the boundary line out in front of the Graysmith stand. Between the half-forward flank and the forward pocket for the Bulldogs, desperately trying to put one through. Whitten comes in, gets the knockdown. Footscray trying hard to get the break, and the free kick must go Hawthorn's way to Cam McPherson. Cam McPherson between the back pocket and half-back flank in front of the Graysmith stand. His kick, it's a punt kick coming towards the wing position. Players set themselves up, they go. Nobody able to pull it down. Johnny Hoyles is in there, miles out of position. The ball is coming towards the boundary line. Uren hooks it back. It's picked up, however, by Bernie Lee. He's way up from goal, or rather Gillard, way up from his position. And there the mark is taken in the centre-half back position for Footscray by Barry Ian. Barry in the centre-half back position, coming in now to take his kick. Put Footscray into attack. His kick, not a good one, towards the centre-half forward. The mark is pulled down there for Hawthorn by John Winicky. Great shout from the crowd, who didn't agree that should have been a mark. However, you saw it on your television screens. What do you think? Hawthorn into attack. The ball on the ground. There is Ian Mort struggling hard to stop the Footscray player from getting his kick. In comes Cameron McDonald. And I think, no, he doesn't get the free kick at all. Play on, calls Frank Swab. Well, that was a funny one. Play on. And what's he going to do with it now? He's going to bounce the ball there right in the centre of the ground, or just wide of the centre. There's the knockout taken by Cameron McDonald. The kicked off the boot of Brendan Edwards. Schultz knocks the ball away now. Footscray has the chance to clear here. There are plenty of them. It's young Barry Ian who gets it. Drives up towards the centre position. It's Uren in charge now. Gets his left foot to it. Drives it to the forward pocket. Charlie Evans coming into it. Bumps Cunningham out the way and fumbles the mark himself. Plenty of Footscray, plenty of Hawthorn, but the ball beats them all.
Well, it's certainly Hawthorn's quarter at the moment, Mike.
There's a throw in now. Up they go. Hill fails to get the knockdown. However, it's Law who eventually gets his boot to it, drives it towards the forward pocket, and Arthur isn't quick enough, but he eventually gains possession, poises himself, kicks, and the ball is out of bounds.
Yes, Mike, as I said, it's all Hawthorn at the moment. They've pulled this game right up level with Footscray, just a shade in front of them, and Footscray letting the game slip away from them.
Well, now there it is, a throw in Hawthorn's forward pocket. The knockout by Footscray, and the free kick will go to Bernie Lee, the fullback who went for the hit. Bernie Lee coming in now. Right foot kick, it goes up where the mark is pulled down brilliantly by Colin Uren on the half-forward flank. Uren, his kick is a bad one off the side of the boot. However, it almost gives Ian Mort the opportunity to mark. They're into attack through Gary Young, the Hawks. It comes down to the full forward position. Hill can't quite gain possession. It's kicked off the ground there by... They're trying to work that one out. Trying to pick up that player. It was Ian Mort. Mort, who battled hard to get it, eventually kicked it off the ground, and Hawthorn have gone further in the lead in this grand final between Footscray and Hawthorn.
Well, that's the sort of goal, Mike, that can win premierships. A brilliant goal by Ian Mort, and now Hawthorn are not to be denied this quarter. They're back into attack again. However, as a free kick going against them here, it'll be taken by Footscray around about the centre of the ground, I think. Let's have a look at the general picture here. Is Gardner? No, it's the other rover. Hobbs is on the ground. That's number 2, Hobbs, with the trainers running out to him there. However, Footscray are into attack, down to the centre half forward position, but coming in from behind is a beautiful mark by MacArthur of Hawthorn. MacArthur gets the ball back to his own centre half forward position. Gary Young is battling there, kicks it further down towards the goals. Last line of defence. Hill flies very high, can't mark the ball, can't take it. Cunningham picks up and has a snapshot, but it's 1 point only. Well, Hawthorn worked that ball back to their own territory very, very quickly indeed there to put another point on the board. 53 points to 35 in favour of Hawthorn at this stage in the third quarter. Now the ball's back with Bernie Lee, who's kicking towards the outer side of the ground. Footscray, another bad kick from Bernie Lee along the ground. Lets Hawthorn in through Cunningham here. He's caught, brought down to the ground, overrun. However, still Hawthorn are into attack. Oh, see that Brendan Edwards go down there. Teddy Whitten ran straight into him. Graham Arthur, was it Brendan Edwards? Anyways, on the ground. A very, very solid one from Teddy Whitten. Up again, trainer rushes across to him. He gets the free kick anyway. It's Brendan Edwards, yes. Well, he's within... No, he put the ball, I would say, into the goal square. He probably won't quite get the distance from here. There's his drop kick down towards the 10-yard line. But it's marked by Hawthorn there. Well, they can't go wrong at the moment. Ian Mort has marked. Morton Brown has marked. Now, Brown is well within kicking distance on a very, very slight angle. Only about 25 to 30 yards out. Runs in, takes his kick. Oh, it's a shocking kick. Hawthorn had another chance to mark there, but it's forced off the hands of the pack, out of bounds, right near the behind post.
Well, Jeff, they should have gone for the kill with that one, shouldn't they?
Well, they're opening up a nice break there at this stage, and they've had all the play in this quarter. Reg, well, there's Charlie Evans trying to get his team out of trouble, but even he doesn't seem to be able to do much at this stage. Yes, he does. He's spun out beautifully then. Got the ball down to where Ian Law is met solidly by Gardner. Gardner still coming through, picks up the ball, hand passes across, where Footscray at last are out of trouble. Charlie Stewart's running in for them there, tapping the ball in front of him, falls over, gets up, hand passes out of trouble eventually across to where there's a chance for Bryant. But Bryant's going to take a free kick, I think, yes. Back the ball comes to Bryant. Takes the free kick at the centre wing position. It's a short pass, but oh, it's all Hawthorn. Very foolish football by Footscray at this stage of the game. John Winicky marking there in the back pocket. Coming well out from the back pocket when he marked. Another mark to Hawthorn. I would think that umpire Schwab will play it, bring the ball back, although it's, yes, he is. He's bringing it back. Player's gone on right down to the forward pocket, but it's stopped in the centre of the ground for Graham Arthur to take a free kick for Hawthorn. There he is, right alongside Brendan Edwards, who's taking a little bit of a rest there, got a nasty knock a little while back. Oh, it can't go wrong at the moment. Cunningham, Hawthorn can't go wrong. Cunningham, the ball right down his throat. He's marked on the half-forward flank. Dodges round his man on the mark, hand passes across to Gary Young. Gary Young sets himself, runs in, kicks at goal, and it looks as though it'll be a behind. Yes, 1 point only. It's all Hawthorn, and I venture to say, Reg, at this stage, they should be many, many goals in front.
Yes, Jeff, I think that they've set the real pattern they wanted this quarter, and they've taken this game right away from Footscray to go from a 10 or 12 point lead down to 10 or 12 points up. And at the moment, they are playing much better.
They're playing very, very much harder, too, with 17 minutes of the quarter gone. Footscray still battling desperately there to get the ball out of Hawthorn territory, but without much success at this stage. Look at those Hawthorn Guernseys, those stripes are everywhere. There's another kick for goal. I think it might have been touched. Yes, the umpire taps his hand and signals that that kick of Cooper's was touched on the way through. 1 point only. Well, still they bombard the goals, Reg.
Yes, Jeff, if they could only make goals, they'll clinch this game in this quarter if they haven't already clinched it. Kick off by Bernie Lee is quite a good one, right out the outer flank, but I'm afraid Hawthorn are going to take this again. And Hawthorn have marked this about 55 yards out in the presence of Cooper.
Well, we'll see if Cooper can put it right back in the 10-yard square again. He should from here. His kick is a low, long drop kick. Nice mark, I think, taken. No mark. Play on. Footscray are out of trouble through Evans, Charlie Evans. Back pocket player, only to see Hawthorn marking again out there through Fisher on the wing, is it? No, it's one of the half-forward flankers, I think. Anyway, the kick is back into attack. Comes Hawthorn. It's incessant. Oh, very, very high goes Peck, and off the hands of the pack, the ball goes through for another point to Hawthorn.
7-14, not good kicking, Jeff, is it?
No, it is not good kicking. They've had all the play. They've had 21 shots to 10, 7-14 to 5-5, and all the play this quarter.
I don't think that breeze has changed at all to give them this opportunity. I think they're really playing at the moment better
Well,
than
if it has, they'll lead all these points on the board for that final quarter, I would think. Footscray can't do a thing right. Hawthorn back into attack again. It's going perilously close and hits the post. It's a poster. Look, you can see that post. You can still see it shaking slightly. There it goes. The left-hand side goal post shaking away there. Look at it. From a hit high up near the top.
They're just too wide sometimes, aren't they?
Well, there's another one. 7:15 on the board. Hawthorn 5-5. Footscray. Bernie Lee's kick this time, at least it gets height, but still no distance. He's not getting any distance at all on the kickoff. There's a fine mark by Gardner for Footscray. Gardner coming in from behind took a very nice mark indeed. I would say that Footscray have had very, very little of the ball in the air or even on the ground too this quarter. Gardner. His kick is a long, low one out to the outer wing position. We're waiting behind. There's a chance for Eon to put his team into attack. He does so, but the ball will elude them on the half-forward flank and go over the line for a throw-in on the outer side of the ground in Footscray's half-forward position. Well, now they've got a chance to force the ball a little forward. Footscray, one of the few times they'll have been down there this quarter, but Schultz is being badly beaten in the ruck. There's the knockdown again. Hello, free kick to Schultz. Well, he wasn't beaten that time because he comes out of it with a free kick. He was beaten for the knockout, but he gets the kick. I've just had handed to me an interesting statistic on this quarter. Hawthorn have taken 14 marks, Footscray have taken 4. That's the pattern of the quarter. Now the ball is in Footscray's territory and they have a chance here, but no, it's kicked away again by Kane, the fullback for Hawthorn, to Schultz, and Schultz has marked. Well, now, he'll put the ball well down. He's a little bit closer this time than his last one. He'll put it, no, he does with a short pass, and it's a bad one. It's an ill-directed short pass, which Uren picks up, handballs back again into almost the same position that Schultz kicked it to find Edwards with the ball. Brendan Edwards puts his team right out of trouble after a very foolish short pass by Schultz to the centre-half forward position, which was completely vacant. There's Hoyles getting caught in possession of the ball, but he gets away with it, and the ball goes over the boundary line for a throw-in on the centre wing position, outer side of the ground.
At the moment, Jeff, Hawthorn seem to be beating Footscray for pace, don't you think?
Well, they might have taken a little bit of the pace out of Footscray, I think, because they came in at the start of this quarter and played it extremely hard and fast, and they've gone for the ball much better than they have in the other quarters, Reg.
Oh, very much, yes.
Well, there's a nasty clash while we were talking down there, and Fisher is on the receiving end of it, and a free kick is being played further downfield, and Mort will take it. Well, you can always tell which team are trailing, the team that gives those away, Reg.
Yes, that's a bad fault.
And look what it's resulted in.
Marked by Brown.
Brown has marked right in front, and he's only 25, 30 yards out, directly in front. Ideal kicking conditions, and I venture to say he'll have no difficulty in putting this right through the centre. And there's another goal on the board for Hawthorn. Make no mistake about it whatsoever.
Well, Jeff, I would say that this is a really killing quarter as far as Hawthorn are concerned.
Well, it's a bad quarter as far as Footscray are concerned. Mike, come in and see if you can do any good for him.
Bring them a bit of luck, Jeff. Well, it looks as if the Hawks, they started off brilliantly. They've maintained that brilliance there. Schultz does get the knockdown eventually. And the free kick is going Footscray's way to the young fellow who is roving now, Johnny Quarrell. Quarrell's left foot kick right up to the scoring position. Whitten flies high, unable to pull it down. The ball's on the ground. Everybody trying to get a go at it. Eventually it's kicked off by Colin Uren out towards the wing position. In comes, who was that? Gardner, rather. Gardner kicks it up towards the forward pocket. A chance for Footscray to come in there. However, Ian Law gains possession. Gardner flies high on that wing position on the outer side of the ground. It's Spargo who has it. He's grabbed as he kicks. And here's a chance for Footscray to score. The ball goes right up to the teeth of goals. Whitten is in there. He can't get the ball. Eventually throws the Footscray man to the ground. The ball is cleared out of danger for the Hawks as the mark is taken right out there on the half-back flank. Fisher it was who took that. However, it's Hawthorn into attack again, coming down towards the centre-half forward position. The Footscray backs hotly pressed now, hardly seem to know what to do in this position. Eventually, it's kicked out of the way by Johnny Hoyles. And Footscray are out of danger. The ball going towards Footscray's half-forward flank. Here's a chance for them now. It's picked up by McCullough. McCullough drives towards the forward pocket, but it goes out of bounds once again in Footscray's forward pocket on the outer side of the ground. Footscray badly need a couple of quickies here to put them right back into the game. Waiting for the throw in there. It's Winicky who gets the knockdown. However, it's sharked by Footscray. Nobody can actually break clear. Over to Spargo. He gets his foot to it, drives it up to the teeth of goals. Knocked away there by Killer Kane. Hawthorn once again have the opportunity. Footscray in possession. Stacks on the mill. Umpire Swab calls play on. The ball is kicked right up to the teeth of goals once again. Stewart has the opportunity. He leaves it go. Slattery comes in. And Bryant now is in the race for the ball. Can he pick it up? He's trundling it on in front of him despite hot opposition. Oh, golly, it's very, very hot indeed for the Footscray bloke. Spargo gets it, drives it up towards the forward pocket. It goes out of bounds in front of the Graysmith stand.
Well, a couple of observations, Mike. I think that Whitten and Schultz particularly has gone out of the game. And I think that Footscray, unfortunately, are using a little bit too much vigour.
There's a throw-in. Up goes Teddy Whitten. He gets it, knocks it in towards the goal square, but it's picked up by Poole and driven over the boundary line once again. Just near the behind post, in Footscray's forward pocket, in front of the Graysmith stand. Waiting for the throw-in now. Here it comes. Teddy Whitten's in there. John Winicky for Footscray. It's Whitten who grabs the ball, kicks, and 1 point only. A great try by the Footscray captain and coach. Didn't bother knocking it down. Actually, there was nobody in a good position to receive the ball. There is the scoreboard. 8-15 Hawthorn, 5-6 Footscray. Killer Kane, the Hawthorn fullback, will take the kick out. By the look of the players, he'll try the members' wing. There's his kick. Not a very good one. It's a drop kick. Up goes Johnny Schultz. Can't mark. Knocks it down. Schultz is still battling on to gain possession. In comes Ian Law. Hobbs is in there for Footscray. Eventually, it's picked up by Cameron McDonald, and the free kick has been given Footscray's way to John Schultz. Schultz is a fair distance out from goal. There's his kick. It's a punt kick off the side of the boot, a shocker, and it's over the boundary line and out in Footscray's forward pocket. In front of the Graysmith stand. There's a throw-in. Whitten's in there again for Footscray. It's Winicky who gets the knockdown, however. Very good knockdown to Cam McPherson. In comes Schultz with the opportunity of marking a clash of players there. Uren comes in, playing a great game now. Uren battles the ball on in front of him. Morton Brown has the opportunity. Escapes the Footscray hands that come out to meet him. Drives Hawthorn into attack. It's picked up by Ware in defence, though. Driven towards the centre of the ground. Footscray once again into attack. They're trying hard, but there's the mark taken in defence by Law. Law, the Hawthorn rover, defending now. His kick up towards the centre of the ground. Young knocks the ball over towards the half-forward flank. An opportunity for Ian Mort. He's hotly pressed by two Footscray players, and Mort will take the free kick. Mort, he wastes no time, puts it right down into the scoring area where a glorious mark is pulled down by Bob Ware of Footscray. High over the top of his Hawthorn opponent. Ware coming out now, trying the outer side of the ground. All Hawthorn there. Well, no play on, calls umpire Swab. What has he done? Well, the players were a bit unsure of that. And eventually the ball comes down to Hawthorn scoring territory, but once again the attack is repelled by Bob Ware. Taken quite a few marks there in the last few minutes. Ware, he drives to the centre of the ground. Schultz comes in. Oh, had it been a plum pudding, he would have been in trouble. Went all over the place. John Schultz not playing up to his form of the first half. However, Footscray into attack. Out to the half-forward flank. Everybody trying to get it. Eventually, it's McCullough who does get his boot to the ball, comes over towards the opposite half-forward flank. Charlie Stewart comes in, kicks towards goal. And eventually, it's kicked out of danger by Cooper of Hawthorn, however, marked on the half-forward flank for Footscray by McCullough. McCullough on the half-forward flank. Marked in front of Steadhay then, waiting for him to come in and take his kick. Footscray must be very worried at this stage of the game. There's the kick, right up to the teeth. Up they go. The mark, virtually Out of stand there. A chance for Footscray to come in again. Gardner has it, fumbles around, tries to be tricky, is grabbed. He's down on the ground now as play goes on. Hawthorn into attack. Schultz almost pulled that one down in defence, but Hawthorn have the opportunity here. Gary Young picks up, drives down towards goal. Hill sets himself. Oh, everybody out of position. Nobody at home. The ball is on the ground. It's picked up by Cunningham, it looks like, is it? No, it's Morton Brown. Morton Brown picks it up and puts it through for another goal to the Hawks. Oh, goodness me, Bert. Would you say it looks all over?
Well, I'd say so, Mike. They've got a definite big grip on the game, Hawthorn. They're playing well. Footscray, whatever they're doing wrong, Footscray. And Hawthorn have put on 6 goals up until now in this quarter.
This is the quarter. Well, there's another knock. Hawthorn, as you can see, they're playing with tremendous confidence now. Footscray can't do a thing right, but just as I said that, you rendered the wrong thing. Teddy Whitten marks there. Lovely kick up by Spargo. Teddy Whitten marks, has the opportunity to score his side's first goal for this quarter. It's up to the skipper now. Comes in, takes his kick, and it's there. It's a major for the Bulldogs. Well, when we said that this possibly could be Hawthorn's, the premiership, not so much on the scoreboard, Bert, I think on the way they're playing.
There's no doubt about that, Mike. They've taken the game right up and right past Footscray now. That was a tremendous effort by Whitten. He's kicked 3 of their 6 goals. A real personal triumph for Ted, but his side's not playing well enough around him.
All right, let's see if they can come back into it. There's the siren for the end of the third quarter in the 1961 grand final between Hawthorn and Footscray. Play is about to start in the final quarter of the 1961 grand final between Footscray and Hawthorn. Footscray trailing the Hawks by 27 points as Jeff Raymond and Reg Hickey take up the description.
There goes the bounce of the ball for the fourth and final quarter, and it's Cooper for Hawthorn who gets the tap down. Cooper rising very high there, and a free kick is pulled out of the hat here, going towards Footscray. Let's see who's taking it. It's not Spargo, no. Spargo, the centre man, I thought was taking it for a moment. He's not. Further back to the Gillard of the half-back line, who takes the ball, kicks it onto the half-forward line for Footscray. Chance for Footscray here to come through McKellar. McKellar's kick is not a good one. It gets the ball, though, to centre half forward. Hawthorn have a chance to clear here. Cooper came in, couldn't take the ball, and it's left to Slattery, working well out from goal to kick it down towards the full forward position. Whitten goes high. He can't hold the ball. And Winnicky kicks it away for Hawthorn, out of bounds on the opposite side of the ground. It's now on the members' side of the ground. Out of bounds about 30 yards around from the behind post for a throw-in. Schultz sets himself in the ruck, but still can't get that tap down. Steadhay knocks the ball out to where there's a chance for Law to pick up. He does so, sends it further downfield towards the centre wing position, where Footscray are in through Spargo. Spargo's kick puts them down into attack again. A chance for them here. Oh, Duff, the new man who's on. Gardner has gone off. Duff couldn't hold that one. He's number 16 in there. Has yet to have a kick for the day. He's just come on after half-time. Schwab calls for the ball. Here's Gardner, after taking a couple of knocks early. There, finally, Schultz does get the knock down, sends it in the arms of Graham Eon. However, Hawthorn have got it away down towards the centre wing position and over the line and out of bounds. Footscray doing the attacking anyway, Reg.
Oh, very much so, Jeff. But I'm not getting too much result out at the moment. They've got to score to get anywhere near the finish of this game. I'm rather interested in trying to pick up who's roving.
They're roving Eon, I think. Graham
that's
Eon
one.
looks to be on the ball, Reg.
That's the one, I think, yes.
Anyway, Brendan Edwards has got the ball. He's been doing so much damage for Hawthorn there in the centre today. Only to see Charlie Evans get dumped. Comes back into it again. There's Evans still playing the ball on in front of him. Picks it up, wearing a bandage on his right elbow, incidentally. Well, there's a chance for Mort to mark. He couldn't do so. And back to the centre wing position comes the ball, and over the line, I think, when that mark was taken. It was taken by Hay, but I think it might have been over the line.
That's right, Jeff. It was over the line.
And the boundary umpire is getting the ball back. He looked to me as though he was just over the line when he grabbed the ball in. Now, on the throw-in. Hello, there's an infringement towards against Schultz here, I think. Yes, and John Peck of Hawthorn will be taking it. Peck, who started off at full forward, is now rucking for the Hawks, and rucking mighty well too, because Schultz has been almost shut out of the game. Graham Arthur gets caught in possession of the ball. Gary Young punches it along. It looked to be just over the line there. However, Gary Young got his hand to the ball, sent it along to where picks the ball up, sends it back to where Mort gets it and kicks it out of bounds. You get the impression here that Hawthorn are slightly coasting along a bit. Hoyle's in possession, sends it to Spargo. Spargo working well away from the centre of the ground, overruns the ball and lets Hawthorn in. His opponent comes in, Brendan Edwards. Brilliant with the ball, gets flattened after he'd kicked it, but not heavily. His kick goes out of bounds in front of Hoyle's. On the throw-in, it's Hill in front of Schultz, who gets the tap down. Oh, Graham Arthur was underneath that one. There he is, picking himself up now. He's all right. Well, nearly all right.
I like that bit, Jeff. Nearly all right.
Further down towards the goals here. There's a chance for Hawthorn. No, I think there might be a ball up. No, he's found a free kick out of it. And it's going Footscray's way. It's being taken by Evans. Yes, Evans taking the free kick in the back pocket for Footscray. Not a good kick, but it goes to Schultz. Oh, and Schultz has done that a lot. He dropped that one right onto his tummy, and he let it fall to the grass. Hawthorn trying to get into attack through Fisher, who passes backwards over his shoulder to Cunningham. Cunningham has a shot for goal, but it'll go out of bounds by the behind post. Little Cunningham coming in today in place of Connell, who was injured for Hawthorn. I think Reg has done a pretty good job round the packs.
Oh, very good, Jeff. I think they've had the bite round the packs. Both Hawthorn rows have outdone the Footscray Rovers all day long, I think.
Well, here's a further chance for Hawthorn through Mort. Mort couldn't get his boot to the ball. Cunningham still in there, gets pulled and pushed down to the ground. Footscray have a chance to clear here, but a bit slow. And Uren comes in, a nice hand pass across to Fisher, to his opposite wingman, and Fisher's kick, a left footer, is actually going a little bit further away from goals. However, Ian Law, the rover, no, he can't get his hands to it. There's a chance now for Brown. Brown gets caught in possession, and the kick will go against him. Footscray are out of trouble temporarily. Hoyles will take the kick.
Jeff, it's very noticeable to me at the moment. I think both sides are feeling the pressure now, and the players steady down quite a bit to what it was in the previous three quarters. I suppose
Yes.
only natural, but they're
Yes,
getting a bit
Reg.
tired.
Well, it has been played at a cracking pace all day. Footscray have got the ball across the centre line, only to find MacArthur. John MacArthur at centre half back, sending on to Gary Young. Is it
It's Gary.
Gary Young, who's taken the mark at centre half forward? Coming into the game a bit more now is Gary Young. In fact, he's had the better of Hoyles, I would say, Reg, today.
I think a little bit, Jeff. Yeah, just a wee bit. He can only kick straight. Look at that one.
That's
shocking.
a shocking kick, isn't it? Very bad kick indeed. Hobbs was there. Hobbs is not making much pace, but he does take the hand pass to put his team out of trouble, getting the ball to the centre wing position. It's a great old struggle going on there, and it's Cam McPherson who gets it across to Brendan Edwards. Brendan Edwards too strong, a little bit too fast. Down to Colin Uren. Uren down to the half-forward place, at the half-forward position. Schultz has the ball, can't get rid of it. Charlie Evans gets pulled when not in possession and will take a free kick, I think.
Jeff,
It's him
on
getting up off the carpet
on
now.
the day, he's been a rather solid little player back there, little Charlie, my boy, you know.
Yes,
Done
I would
quite well.
say he's possibly been the pick of the back men today.
I think so.
In spite of those few fumbles very, very early in the match. He's been trying all the time. He's done a lot of work for Footscray in the defence position. Well, there's his kick. It's a good one, too, to the centre of the ground, but one-handed the Footscray player flies. However, Footscray come out with it. It's down in their scoring zone. Now there's a chance to Slattery, who the redhead, he slips over at the last minute, allows Kane to pick up the ball. Kane is hotly tackled by Stewart, but he gets his kick. And the ball is just about the centre wing, favouring Footscray territory very, very slightly. Yes, it's almost coming back now towards the half-forward flank position. Here's the throw-in. Winnicky's in there, so is Ware and John Peck. It's Winnicky who gets the tap down. Oh, look at Teddy looking for a place to pass the ball to. Couldn't find anybody, and it's Uren clearing easily for Hawthorn. Down to the centre-half forward position, a chance for Law. Law overruns the ball. Mort is in there. Still Hawthorn into attack here. Peck passes back. Picked up by Schultz. Schultz, a hand pass out of trouble. It's going across towards the boundary. And there we see Brown picking up, sending it back to the goal square again, where Footscray should clear through the agency of Lee. Have done so towards the stand wing. And on the stand wing now we see some Fisher picking up and getting rolled. In possession of the ball, says the umpire, so the kick will go to Bryant, his wing opponent of Footscray. That's Bryant on his lonesome there, looking for a short pass, a lead, and he's got it too. The ball being taken by Graham Ian, who was roving a while back, and looks as though he might have gone back on the half-forward line now. Perhaps the flank, because Cam McPherson's on it. Marked by Winnicky, not allowed, says the umpire. Goes out to where Stead Hay picks it up. He can't get rid of it. Trying to come through with sheer pace is Spargo. Runs near the boundary line, but not over. Takes his kicks as Spargo. Here's a chance for Footscray to get another goal here with a mark in front of the pack. A kick off the ground by Slattery. And it's Cooper, or Hill, Cooper who relieves for Hawthorn. Footscray, another chance here through Quarrell. Quarrell's left foot kick, though, goes over the line and out of bounds. Well, Reg, they just can't get it down to those goals.
No, Jeff, it appears to me that generally all round Hawthorn are the stronger side now, and they are tackling Footscray at every attempt they get the ball, and I think will win this game. Look at the dash of that boy going in just now. In the 3 Hawthorn to Uren, he's coming up the centre of the ground now with a nice long punt up to centre-half forward position. Is going to be up to Charlie, my boy, Evans, to hold on.
Well, there's Charlie Evans, firm in defence as usual, and Uren, my word, what a great game he's playing, Mike.
He certainly is, Jeff. There's the ball down into the centre now. Footscray, as you can see, they're fumbling. Their players just don't seem to be able to hold those marks. Even Hobbs then, I wasn't too sure about that one. However, he plays on when the mark has been taken by Duff. Gives Footscray a great chance to score here. Boy, they need about 4 quick ones. Duff is about 30 yards out, almost in front. There's his kick off the side of the boot, and 1 point only is the result. Well, it looks as though Bert Deacon shortly, congratulations will be in order for the Hawks. However, we'd like to take this opportunity of congratulating our director, Alf Potter. I'm sure all of you watching this telecast at home have enjoyed the pictures you've seen. They're the result of the great work done by our cameraman and our crew here, and especially the work of our director, Alf Potter. There's Killer Kane kicking out now, right to the centre of the ground. Up they go. Edwards almost pulled that one down. However, it's on the ground. A chance for Bryant here. Gets his foot to it, sends it to the centre-half forward position. Oh, virtually nobody home for Footscray. That gives MacArthur a chance to tear through there. It's all Hawthorn, as you can see. However, out it comes to Footscray now. It's Ian who kicks the ball down to the half-forward flank, over the line and out of bounds. There's the throw-in. Oh, Footscray, Ware missed that badly. However, it's on the ground. It's picked up now by Fisher. Fisher drives it up towards Hawthorn's half-forward flank. Schultz gets his hand to it over Graham Arthur, puts it over the boundary line. Once again, Herb has the opportunity of throwing in. There's the throw-in. Up they go. Whitner's in the ruck for Footscray. Gets it down. Ian not quick enough to get to the ball, and it goes out once again. It's on Hawthorn's half-forward flank. There you can see, you probably saw then the pattern of the game. One fellow looking after Schultz, and the other fellow going for the knockout. Makes it very, very hard for any ruckman. But John Schultz is struggling on. Good tactics by Hawthorn. In comes Schultz again. That time he almost got it. Went down heavily. The ball's up to the forward position for Hawthorn, and the mark has been pulled down there by Hill. Hill drives towards the teeth of goals. They set themselves. Up they go. No mark pulled down. Hawthorn still trundling it on. Bernie Lee jumps on top of his opponent there. Hoyles is in there also. Let's see what umpire Frank Swab is going to do with it. I'll have a bounce, chaps, he says. There's the bounce of the ball. Graham Arthur gets it. Comes down now where the kick is taken, and 1 point only. The Hawthorn bugler, you've probably read about him. He's having a great time here. Hawthorn 9-16, Footscray 6-7. Well, it looks like a miracle is needed, Bert.
They couldn't possibly pull it out, Mike. Not the way the game's going at the moment. Hawthorn's right on top, every department. There's 13 minutes more to go, and they're well on top, Hawthorn. No fears.
13 minutes actually gone, Bert. Yes, there might only be 13 minutes to go, too. Well, there's the ball in the centre of the ground now. Hawthorn into attack once again. Winicky puts a funny old left foot to it. Up it goes. It's punched away there by Charlie Evans. Down on the ground again. Hawthorn, too strong. Morton Brown gets his boot to it. Sends it to the teeth of goals. Up they go. No mark pulled down. Footscray has the opportunity to clear here through Barry Ian. Comes round. He bounces the ball once, twice. Eventually puts his left foot to it. Drives it down to the wing position. There's a great race going on here between McCullough and Stead Hay, but the ball beats them both. There's a throw in. Teddy Whitten in there for Footscray, gets a knockdown too to McCullough. Oh, he's met by just about everybody you could imagine. A real reception committee was awaiting him as he came out with that ball. And eventually he'll take his kick. Boy, he met some opposition with that one. He's on the wing position on the member side of the ground. Here's his kick. Down towards the forward pocket. Nobody able to mark. It's on the ground. Law comes in defence for Hawthorn. Drives to the wing position. The mark is taken there by Spargo. Spargo handballs across very quickly to Barry Ian. Ian gets his kick down to the centre half forward position. Everybody has a chop at it. Nobody gets it. It's on the ground. Players going in. And eventually the free kick has been given to Charlie Stewart, the 19th man for Footscray, who came on. Footscray have lost 2 players, Beamish and Gardner. Stewart's kick, it's a drop kick, it's a high one, doesn't cover a great deal of distance, however it's right down into the forward zone. But Hawthorn drive them out once again to the half-forward flank. Here's a chance now for Bryant. He handballs across. Duff has it. Duff is trying to punch it across to Stewart. Can't do so. And eventually it's Cam McPherson who drives the Hawks out of danger to see Morton Brown marked there on the wing position on the outer side of the ground. Hawthorn into attack once again. Uren has it, running up on the half-forward flank, driving down towards the forward pocket where the mark is spilled by Hill there. However, Footscray clearing now. Here's a chance for Fisher. Fisher picks up, drives right into the teeth of goal, and the mark is taken effortlessly by John Peck, the vice-captain, full forward come ruckman. Oh, goodness gracious me.
Well, Mike, there's an amazing thing. It is a goal. No, it is a goal. It looked like as if it only made a point. I'm terribly surprised about that. It looked to go off the side of his boot, but obviously no, and it's a goal.
Well, I think 100,000 people also thought it was a behind. You could hear the silence, if I may use the term, that came over the ground, because I think that everybody thought that he'd kicked a point. When I said, goodness gracious me, I remember labelling him to kick a goal earlier in the match, and he went off the side of his boot.
Did exactly that, Mike. Yes, interesting to note, too, that people are starting to stream off the ground, even at this early period.
Well, here viewers can see history being made. Hawthorn well on the way to their first premiership ever. However, the Bulldogs are still in it. They're going down fighting. Into attack again. Whitten sets himself, flies high, but cannot take it. The judgment just wasn't there. Hawthorn clearing now. Plenty of Footscray fellas down there, but they can't do much with it, and the free kick goes Hawthorn's way to John Winicky. Winicky there, almost on the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. His kick, he must be pretty tired. It would covered about 60 yards, 30 up and 30 down. The mark has been taken for Footscray out there on the half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground. Footscray back into attack. Right into the teeth this one goes. Oh, Witness swamped by Hawthorn opponents then. The ball is on the ground. It's picked up by Cunningham, it looks like. Cunningham drives out of danger. Two Footscray fellas fly for it, but eventually it must be Ware who will take the mark. Ware just wide of the centre, looking for Hobbs. Hobbs takes the mark. Hobbs is running into to goal for them, and it's through. It's through for Footscray. 18 minutes of this quarter have gone. There's the scoreboard. 10-16 to 7-7. 10-16 to 7-7. Well, I want to rattle on about 4 quickies, Bert, to be in it.
It'd be a miracle, Mike. I don't think they can do it, but of course it's not over yet until the final siren is rung.
There's the bounce of the ball now. Schultz gets the knockdown. However, it goes straight to Cooper. Cooper gets his boot to it, sends it up towards the half-forward flank. In they come now. Morton Brown gets it, left foots it up to the goal mouth. Mark not pulled down by Bernie Lee. Charlie Evans chips in and drives Hawthorn out of the danger zone. The ball is on the half-forward flank for Hawthorn on the outer side of the ground. Looks as if the 19th man for Hawthorn is coming on. John Kennedy must think that he's got it won, or perhaps somebody's injured. However, another goal to Hawthorn through Ian Moore. Screwed around on his left foot and popped it through. Just trying to put, there's the scoreboard. Just trying to pick out who is going off for Hawthorn. The 19th man is on. That is Nalder. What a 19th man to have, Bert.
He's a beauty. He's a beauty, all right, going around
the
outside.
Nalder going. You just saw a glimpse of him then going around the outside.
And he's going to replace Cunningham.
Cunningham is going off. Well, Footscray not giving in. There's Hobbs with the ball in the centre of the ground. Drives it down to the centre half-forward position. Whitten flies high. Just can't hold it. However, Slattery is the one who takes that mark. Slattery's a fair distance out. He'd be 50 yards out from goal. Here he comes. There's his kick. Up the distance, not the direction. 1 point only is the result. Well, there's the scoreboard. I think the scoreboard tells the story. Hawthorn, had they kicked straight, it would have been a lot further in front. But they haven't, and here is Killer Kane to take the kick off. There's his kick to the outer side of the ground as Jeff Raymond and Reg Hickey resume the description.
Well, we said beforehand that we weren't going to nominate unless the scores were pretty discrepant who was going to be the winner, but at this stage I think we can safely say that Hawthorn have got themselves a premiership. Right, Alf? Yes, Alf Potter, our director, says we can nominate now, so... Well, gentlemen, Hawthorn have got themselves a premiership, eh?
I'd like to be sure of Tattersall's.
Well, all congratulations to them, John Kennedy and the boys. There's Footscray still battling on, but without any purpose at all. And they're being kept well out of trouble there by Stead Hay. Now the throw-in to take place on the half-forward flank. Footscray, the attacking zone. Over his head, but Fisher comes out with the ball for... Oh, dear, dear, dear. Teddy Whitten went down then very solidly after Nalder, who'd just come on. Nalder has come on so that he could have a bit of a show. Teddy Whitten got the free kick, passed it across, a hand pass to Bryant, and I reckon Bryant's gone for holding the ball. No. Whether umpire Schwab at a case like this is being a bit lenient on him, I don't know, Reg, but he looked as though he was gone then.
I thought so, Jeff, too.
Yeah. Peck's in there for Hawthorn. He gets the tap down. Comes out. Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful football. Very, very clever football on the part of Hawthorn, who are doing what they like in these closing stages of the game. Even Hoyles there didn't quite know what to do. Ware comes around with a try. Oh, look at this. Look at this inept football on the part of poor Footscray, where they did everything right last week. They can't do a thing right this week.
Well, Jeffy, I think they've been bustled by a far better and more intelligent side at the moment.
Yes.
That handball down along the ground here is beautiful.
Yes, we mustn't say that Footscray have lost it because Hawthorn have actually won it. Their football has been strong and on occasions brilliant. But I think strength is the keynote to their success, Reg.
Very much, and a lot of intelligence, Jeff, I think. A lot of intelligence now.
Yes.
You've seen fellas tap the ball down along the ground here. Oh, yes, Alf, there's some paper dropping across your screen.
Yes.
There's coming down from upstairs. Some of the boys upstairs, Footscray people, are tearing up their flags, perhaps, or something like that.
That was John MacArthur relieving poor Hawthorn, getting it down to Colin Uren. Uren further downfield. Poor Hawthorn. Still they're attacking. They reckon they haven't got enough on the board yet. Down into the full forward position where there's a chance for Law. Law couldn't mark the ball, and Footscray have cleared it back, only to see Uren in control again. Uren underruns it, but he'll pick it up again. I think he's got time to turn around, recover, turn out of trouble, get his left foot to the ball, put it right onto the half-forward flank for Hawthorn. 3 Hawthorn players there, one of them must get it. It'll be a kick for goal, and it could go through again for another goal, and it has! Nalda. What a handy player this is, Reg, to have coming on as your 19th man.
He's a handy boy and a 19th man, Jeff. He could be in my side any time, this chap, but still, that's just how strong Hawthorn are at the moment. Now they're bringing on, notice running around the boundary, Phil Hay, whom I think Hawthorn will deservedly give a run on the ball because he's been a very great 19th or 20th man.
Yes, there he is now. He's just waiting to go on. Who's going to come off for Hawthorn? Academic interest only in the football now as to how much Hawthorn will win by. Brendan Edwards, who's been brilliant all day, gets the ball out onto the wing. However, Footscray could go into attack here through the person of Hoyles, their centre-half back. However, it's out of bounds. Both 19th and 20th were on at the start of this quarter for Footscray, and now Hill, it looks as though Hill has come off for Hawthorn, and Hay has gone on. That's P. Hay, not Stead Hay has been on since the start of the match. Well, Footscray is still going in hard. That's Bryant, number 37, with the ball. Getting it across to Teddy Whitten. Teddy Whitten unopposed, elects for a short pass, which comes on. No, Graham Ian caught at centre-half forward, hurled to the ground, and the kick must go to Hawthorn, and is. John MacArthur.
He's been a stalwart, Jeff, hasn't he?
Oh, he's played a wonderful game. He did pretty well on noughts and crosses once, too, as a matter of fact, as a contestant, Reg.
Yes,
Well, there's time on only to play. 25 minutes have gone. That's Bob Ware. We can see number 4 getting a free kick for Footscray. Ball comes back to him now. There's Ware's kick to the centre wing position. Fisher has a chance here for Hawthorn to put them into attack again. Gets his foot to the ball, sends it down to the full forward zone. Ware can't mark it, and coming out is Hay for the 20th man for Hawthorn. Gets caught in possession of the ball, but hand passes it across very well to Gary Young to see it go straight down the throat. Let's see who this is at centre-half forward. Brown. Brown's come in from the flank. He's waving his arms about there, everything not to his satisfaction. Charlie Evans may be encroaching a bit on his mark. There's Brown's kick, and it's through for another goal to Hawthorn. Well, there are the scores on the board. 13-16 Hawthorn, Footscray 7-8. Thanks very much, Reg Hickey. It's been fun working with you. I think I'll give it away now. Mike Williamson, take it.
I see. Right. Well, as Jeff pointed out...
Guess who I was barracking for?
It's all over by the shouting, and the Bulldogs are still trying hard to, well, salvage what they can out of it. But even the luck of the game is going against them. The free kick will go to Stead Hay there on the half-back flank. Stead puts the Hawks into attack again. John Schultz fails to mark. A great power in the first half, Schultz, but the backroom boys of Hawthorn found the answer to him in the second half. There is John now, gets the ball, drives it up towards the centre-half forward position. Nobody able to gain possession. Whitten comes in hard there. Through comes Duff for Footscray. He's trying. There seems to be a little bit of dissension further back between the two players. Not very matey at all, actually, Bert.
Not too matey, but who would be now? After all, I'm right alongside you, sneaked in.
Right now, into attack once again comes Hawthorn. They're not letting up one iota. They're going to make a real bird of this premiership. Johnny Hoyles clears for the Bulldogs down to the half-forward flank. A little wrestle going on, and it looks like Colin Uren will take the kick. Colin Uren just about in the centre of the ground, a little wide of the centre, favouring the outer side. There's his kick, right up towards where Teddy Whitten has the chance to mark. No, he spills that one. Teddy flicked past to Bobby Ware. Ware clears towards the outer side of the ground. Oh, hello, Quarrell dropped that one. Quarrell's been very quiet in the second half. Don't you think, Bert? Very quiet, John Quarrell.
Oh, yeah, John Quarrell's been very quiet, Mike. The whole Footscray side's been a bit quiet since half-time, of course. Hawthorn hasn't given them one chance.
Well, the brilliant Footscray, the speed that we saw in the first half is missing. If you'll remember back to the first half, I've no doubt you were amazed and delighted with Footscray's football, but since half-time, it's been non-existent. There is Slattery pulling down a lovely mark for Footscray.
Might be a bit far for him, Mike, this one, I think.
Could be now. He'd be pretty weary by now. He's about 40 yards out from goal. Coming in now to take his kick. It's got the distance, all right, but 1 point only is the result. Well, as I said earlier, history, you can see the scoreboard. An historic scoreboard here at the MCG. Hawthorn's first premiership flag coming up. They've been playing just over 29 minutes in this quarter. So Hawthorn, you can start deciding where to put that flag out there at Glenferrie Oval. There's a mark taken for Footscray on the half-back flank. Umpire Swab isn't going to pay it by the look of things. Let's see what he's going to do. He decides a ball up. There's the ball. Uren comes in. There's the final siren. The final siren. And Hawthorn are premiers for the year 1961. The first premiership for Hawthorn. Congratulations to them from all sporting fans. There is the scoreboard. Hawthorn 13-16-94. Footscray 7-9-51. The umpire was Frank Swab. Repeating the scoreboard. Hawthorn 13-16-94. Footscray 7-9-51. A great and meritorious victory to John Kennedy and his boys. You can see the lads congratulating each other. I'd like to take this opportunity of congratulating our commentators, Jeff Raymond, Bert Deacon, former Carlton Brownlow medalist, Reg Hickey, former captain and coach of Geelong, and our director, Alf Potter, all the boys here on the cameras who have done a magnificent job this afternoon. We thank you for your attention, and now on behalf of everybody here, this is Michael Williamson saying good afternoon to you all.